four of you gather back at the Yawning Portal Inn. As you enter, Durgeddin is waiting for you at the bar. He sees you, and he leans over towards the bar as the four of you kind of gather together, and he says, "Are you ready?"
But of course.
I'm ready, but I would like to, if it's possible, purchase because of my able to receive the bounty for the owlbear, a healing potion for each one of my companions to take on our journeys.
All right. The shop is still open, I think, isn't it?
Oh, I forget how to get to it.
There is the sidebar and shops.
Sidebar. Let me just get... I actually don't see shops on the sidebar.
Yeah.
Go to your
At the top.
Yeah. I'll open it for you.
Okay. Healing. So I'm gonna buy 3, 1 for each of my companions. Just it won't let me put a number in.
Oh, you have to click that thing on the side.
Got it. And then just buy.
Yeah, just click buy and it should automatically take the gold out.
Okay. And how do I give them to my companions now?
Oh, that I don't know. I think can you drag it into another character's sheet? I wonder.
You might be able to drag it into the party sheet.
Let's see.
Yeah, I've always wondered, are you able to specifically give items to other party members?
Well, I mean, obviously should be able to, but I don't mean that there's a way to do it, I guess. Okay, that worked. Got 1 in there, 2, 3.
Okay, so do I have to assign them, or are you able to take them out?
Well, can you guys take them out?
Are you guys able to take it out of the party inventory? This is actually something I'm curious about. Or do I have to assign them?
I'm going to try. Give me a second here.
I was able to take 1.
Yeah. Okay.
Drag at the little square.
You know what?
I was able to party too.
I guess we learned something today. You can take you can give items to other party members that way.
I see a potion of healing in there. I can just drag it into my character sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be able to.
Okay.
One thing I am going to do. It didn't drag back.
Oh, I dragged the potion of healing into my inventory. It worked for me.
Perfect. All right, you learn something new every day.
I was going to drag the chest I purchased into the party inventory, so that I didn't have to carry it, because we have a floating disc for that.
Answer's floating disc. Yes, and I can cast it as a ritual.
For some reason, it won't let me drag it
prepared.
to the I guess the parcel items. It won't let me drag it into there. Yeah, I don't know. It won't let me drag the parcel items.
I don't. I mean, if it's in a parcel, I don't think it would. I don't know why. Don't you have it in your inventory as opposed to a parcel?
Well, right now it has it in my inventory, but it's adding to my carry weight.
I think there was an update that was done in Fantasy Grounds. I see like next to location on the inventory. There's attunement. Okay, never mind. For attunement.
That's strange. Let me take a look.
If you change the little thing to not carry, it should not add that to your weight.
That's what I did for now. I was hoping to assign it back to the party sheet since technically it's the party's.
That's odd.
I'm not going to claim ownership over the chest. Oh, I even have a lock to go on the chest.
Nice.
It's a basic lock. You can practice picking it when you're when you feel
Working with you.
Yeah, that's a really heavy chest that you have here. There.
It's 25 pounds. So
That's
why I'm thinking
yeah.
about it.
That's pretty heavy. That's as heavy as armor. All right, so Durgeddin looks you guys over and says, "I hope you've had a nice rest, because we got quite an adventure for you. But the good news is, this time I'm not sending you empty-handed. This time we know what we're dealing with." He says, "When you're ready, follow me to the back room." And he goes to the back room, to the same room that he originally presented the first adventure to you. And he leaves the door open for you to follow.
I'll follow him in.
And definitely goes in.
I'll be the last in the room.
You walk into the room, and on that table, that round table that is within the room, you guys see sat at the head of the table. You see this dwarf. He's sitting there. He's looking very stiff and regal. He has his arms folded, and he just gives you this glare as you walk in. And he looks at Durnan. He says, "So these are it. These are the adventurers."
Nice to meet you too.
And Durnan nods, and he says, "Allow me to make an introduction. This here is Lorimier Whitehorn. He represents the 6 clans." And Lorimier says, "Pleasure." And he doesn't even move his head. He's just staring straight at you.
I like this guy.
Pleasure to meet you, Lord Whitehorn.
Lorimier Whitehorn, in front of him on the table is that book you guys had seen last time when you left. The title of the book is The Forge of Fury, and you can see Lorimier has been studying it very intently. And Durnan says, what we know about this adventure and this book, and as the Historiophage receded from this book, we realize that this is an issue with a dwarven affair. This book speaks of the great fortress of Khundrukar, and I will spell it for you so we all know. Khundrukar. There we go. This is why I found my old friend Lorimier to discuss what our next steps are, for this appears to be a dwarven affair. And then he's I will give the floor to Lorimier to explain what we're doing. And Lorimier just continues to stare at you intently, and he closes the book with a thump. And he looks at you and he says, "So you're the adventurers who defeated that evil druid Black. The story I had known since I was a lad. And to meet ye in the flesh, 'tis a strange thing indeed." And he says, "Tell me, what do you know of the dwarven clans?" And he kind of opens up the question to all of you. "Nothing, I hear. Well,
Yeah, I'm not very familiar with the dwarven clans themselves. I've met a few dwarves on my travels, but I'm not really familiar with their clans.
Aye,
Can I roll a
indeed.
history check to see what Gregory would know?
You can roll a history check.
Okay.
You only have some general knowledge of the dwarven clans. You know that there are 6 major dwarven houses that have banded together to form a loose trade alliance. That's what they call the dwarven clans. But you do know that centuries ago, the dwarven clans were much more of a war band. Like they would band together and fight together and defend each other. Nowadays, it's more like a trade agreement. And Lormir Whitehorn looks at you. I mean, still not flinching and not looking away. Says, "You see, I am a prince of a house of a famous clan, the Stone Shield clan, and these are matters that concern me. For once Durnan mentioned the fortress of Khundrukar. He had brought in the possibility of finding a lost dwarven clan. And he gestures all of you to sit so he can tell you his story.
A dwarven clan of the past or the present?
Of the distant past. He says, as all of you sit down, he kind of leans forward to tell you his story. He says, "You see, 5 centuries ago, the great dwarf smith Durgeddin the Black and his clan, they were driven from their home by a horde of fierce orcs. They plundered the dwarves' ancestral halls and slew any that they could catch. 'Twas a horrible time indeed. Fleeing his enemies, Durgeddin led the destitute remnants of his clan in search of a new home. After years of wandering, the dwarves discovered a great cavern system beneath Stone Tooth, a rugged, forested hill crowned by a bare, rocky crag. There, Durgeddin and his followers founded the great stronghold of Khundrukar. Indeed, at that time, there were 7 great dwarven clans. Durgeddin was a master smith. You see, dwarves, we pride ourselves in what we build, how we work the stones, the items, the weapons that we forge. But Durgeddin, he was something else. His hammer would sing when he would forge. The items he created were mythical, incredibly powerful. He forged blades of unsurpassed quality and power. And then, 2 centuries ago, he disappeared. The entire fortress of Khundrukar was sacked by orcs. Again, as if they had followed him, as if they knew. He fought them off for decades. There was a vendetta that the orcs had against Durgeddin, but his enemies overwhelmed him. And 300 years ago, the entire fortress of Khundrukar was wiped out. I know where this is. And Lormir opens up a big map of Faerun, and he points on the map to... What is going on here? He points to the north of the map. You see Mirbar? Just a little bit east of Mirbar, he says. There, that is the location of the Stone Tooth. We dwarves have gone there many, many times in the last 30 years, looking for Khundrukar, and we found it. It is an empty shell of rock. Everything that was there, plundered. Signs of Khundrukar, erased. Nothing but roving orc bands and horrible monsters. But this book, and he points to the Forge of Fury, this book speaks of Khundrukar. He opens the book and he says, there's only 2 sentences in this book, but they speak deep in the Stone Tooth, in the ruins of the fortress of Khundrukar, where Durgeddin the Black had built his empire. And he says, deep inside those ruins a dark evil stirs. And then he flips the book over to you and shows you that everything beyond those 2 sentences are empty. It appears your story will take you here, to the ancestral home of the lost 7th clan of the dwarves. This is a matter that I take very personally. For you see, there is only one thing that matters the most to a dwarf, beyond family, beyond his own life. That is a dwarf's clan name, our fortress. Take away a dwarf's fortress, his clan, his belongings, the stone that he has worked, and a dwarf is nothing. This is the greatest sorrow a dwarf can suffer, to have his stronghold destroyed, have his works looted. And you can see the pain in Lormir's eyes as he says these words. And then he looks to Durgeddin, and Durgeddin looks to you guys. He looks to, I'm sorry, not Durnan. Durnan looks to you and says, the book of the Historiophage began to write, and it says that you must seek out the greatest sorrow of a dwarven smith. That is the item that the book requires. And Lormir said, and that was what a greatest sorrow of a dwarf is, to lose his home, to lose his stronghold, to lose the things that he built with his own hands.
So are you saying if we do this, it will bring the lost clan back into this time?
I doubt it. But we want to know, we want to record the history of Durgeddin's clan. Well, now, all we know is it was lost. We knew not what had happened. We knew not what happened to Durgeddin himself. Did he die within his fortress? Or did he escape to be elsewhere? If you can answer this for me, I will reward you. If you can find anything built by Durgeddin the Black, I will pay you 5 times its value in gold.
What was that scroll that we found back in Sunless Citadel?
I don't know. Who has the scroll?
I
I think
might have it.
Gregory has all the scrolls. I believe we give them to him anyway. I thought we did.
Let's see.
Let's see if you still have it in your inventory.
I have a scroll of detect magic, or dispel magic, a scroll of entangle, scroll of expeditious retreat, scroll of fairy fire, scroll of knock, scroll of mage armor, scroll of Melf's acid arrow, scroll of Melf's minute meteors.
Well, no, not your magic scrolls. As you recall, you did find a scroll of some sort of message among all the treasure that you found, especially in Caltrex's tomb, that white dragon's tomb. You found a scroll that had some mention of a lost dwarven stronghold.
Ooh, good memory, Drake.
Yeah, it sounded familiar. What did we do with the scroll, though? Do we still have that?
Fortunately, I do not see the scroll.
I don't see it either
Nope.
in the party inventory. In my inventory or the party inventory.
I don't have it. Did that get drug into the sell list? Is that what happened to it?
Possibly.
Doesn't Gregory have like an excellent memory? So perhaps he remembers what it says.
He was the one who read it, yeah.
He's the one that can read Draconic.
I know in game Gregory would remember it. I don't know if I remember it out of game, but in game Gregory would remember it.
You recall that the scroll had some mention of a dwarven stronghold, and it was a lost dwarven stronghold. You don't recall anything about the story that you're being told now. The name Khundrukar or Durgeddin in that scroll.
Okay, well, I guess,
I wish I could recall what the text is.
yeah,
You were the one who read it, Greg. Can you recall what it was?
like I was saying, in game I'm sure my character would remember. Out of game, I don't remember. That's just one of those things. My character remembers.
You know
in-game.
what? But Drake, you get some inspiration for remembering that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what you were being told by Lormir, just to kind of recap what he said, is that he knows where this Khundrukar is located. He knows where the fortress of Khundrukar is located. And Khundrukar is obviously what this book, The Forge of Fury, is about. He knows where this book will take you. He doesn't know what time it's going to be, but he knows that it's going to take you north, towards almost to the spine of the world, way north of Waterdeep, even north of Neverwinter, and to the east along the mountain ranges over there, next to the city of Mirabar. He says that the dwarven clans have gone to that location many times looking for the remnants of Khundrukar. They found a large empty cavern that's completely looted and ransacked, with nothing but monsters and orcs left over there. He says that's how it stands now. He says, if you want, I can tell you of what the cavern looks like now. I don't know what it looks like 1,100 years ago. But now there's nothing but loose rock. He says, you see, the cavern was carved into a large mountain that is shaped like a tooth. The cavern is many, many leagues up. There is an entrance in the middle of the mountain into the fortress itself, which is built into the mountain. As far as we know, there are 2 levels of the fortress, but rumor has it there were many, many more, up to 7 in Durgeddin's time.
Quick question for the GM. Sorry, not to derail you from the storyline, but who would we have sold that stuff off to?
What stuff?
We just kind of dragged everything into a central window and sold it. So if we did sell the scroll, who would we have sold it to?
I don't know. I would just assume you sold it to whoever's buying it. Any one of these shops. There are many, many shops around here.
Because I'm wondering if we could track it down.
You don't think so? You think that, it was a little brief mention in it, but but as Gregory recalls, there's nothing specific about the Fortress of Khundrukar or Durgeddin. It was a mention of a lost dwarven fortress, but it could be one of many. And it was very non-specific.
I am going to let him know that such an item is currently sitting in a shop somewhere. And if he wishes to track that down, perhaps he'll find it useful.
Okay, he says he thanks you for it, and he says he will look into it as soon as he can.
Yeah,
It is something you found in the storyline.
Yeah, I'll give him the general, like where we visited and who we might have sold it to. Try to give him a lead on that.
So as as he told you, he explains to you what he knows about the fortress of Khundrukar as it stands today. It is carved into a mountain that is spikes up like a tooth from the earth, and it is carved into the side of the mountain. He knows of 2 levels of this fortress, but it is rumored to have up to 7 levels. However, as it stands today, they are only empty halls, completely looted, the stonework almost destroyed. Also, he explains to you that there is an underground river that runs through the mountain into a large waterfall that collects deep on the bottom of the mountain and pours into a lake. This lake is called the Black Lake, right next to the mountain, to the east of it. Is there anything else you want to ask about where of Khundrukar?
I would just ask him if he would have any idea of what type of foes may be in that area.
Well, the story goes that Durgeddin was chased his entire life by a band of orcs. There are still orcs that live there today, but not in huge numbers. A few scattered tribes living in the forests. There are terrible monsters inside the mountain. Worm-like creatures with multiple mandibles.
That sounds nasty. Anything else that we would be wary of while we were there?
This is what we know of this place today. Once in a while, an orc tribe will house itself there because it is a cave. But we know not of what it was hundreds of years ago. It is empty now. We scoured it inch by inch. Looted completely. I surmise that this story will take you to a place and a time when the ruin of the fortress was still intact. Perhaps while the looting was still going on. But whatever had been there is long since past. I can't imagine the few scattered orc tribes were the legions of orcs that assaulted Durgeddin the Black. And Durnan looks to you and says, "Whenever you're ready, we shall open the gate."
Lynn, Gregory, Drake, you have any questions for him?
No.
Not.
Should we encounter the clan or anyone from the clan, is there anything we could tell them to let them know that we are friends trying to help?
I know not of what the clan would say if he saw ye, but I do warn ye, dwarves, that long ago, centuries ago, were quite xenophobic, did not trust outsiders, but I doubt they would see you as foes. I doubt they could understand what you was doing there. Inside a story, in a pocket plane, it is hard for me to imagine.
We will do our best to return the story to you.
All I wish to know is the fate of Durgeddin the Black. We need this. We need this in our history books. For a dwarf's story in a dwarf's home is a dwarf's soul.
Well, if there ain't further questions, I believe I'm ready to go.
Don't have any more questions?
Drake?
Not here.
Okay. We will definitely do our best to return the history.
Okay, so as the party gets ready to proceed on the adventure, you all sit around a table in a similar fashion that you sat around right before you were pulled into the first adventure, and you all put your hands on the gleaming stone that is the Tear of Saloon, as Durgeddin once again begins to chant the magical words in the prayer Saloon. He says, Alame, Tolia, Usatiena. And a bright light begins to shine out of the Tear of Saloon. And you look around and you see Durnin and you see Lormir, and you see that they begin to get fuzzy as they start to fade away, and you feel your body lighter than air being stretched and pulled as you are pulled out of the plane of existence, and you find yourself traversing what seems to be in the stars as you see them passing by, and you are moving rapidly through the stars, and then finally a big bright light approaches you and explodes in your face. And then the next thing you notice is that it's extremely warm. The four of you are walking along a road. And as the bright light once again starts dimming, you start seeing your surroundings. You're walking along a cobblestone road. To your left and to your right, there are open green fields and dotted forests in the distance. And all the way ahead of you, you see this. A mountain shaped like a tooth jutting into the sky. And you appear to be walking on a road towards this mountain. Beyond the mountain, you see more mountain ranges that are completely snow-capped and it looks like a icy snow-capped mountain farther beyond this mountain range. And you, those of you who have, obviously you know about this, you recognize that you are looking way far in the distance. You're looking at the spine of the world, beyond which is the cold north. And this large mountain shaped like a tooth stands right before you. It looks to be like a good 10-20 miles away as you go on your quest. And you guys are walking at a very slow and steady pace as the light dims down.
time of day does it appear to be?
Mid-noon. Bright.
Well, judging by the distance, does it seem like we're going to be able to get there before nightfall?
You don't, not at your pace. You think that it's probably going to be dusk soon.
Don't think there's any reason to try to hurry and to get there any faster.
Looking at surroundings, do we see any possible places in the distance that we may be able to make camp, or
Well, you
is there
can,
any sign?
if you wanted to make camp, you can probably make it anywhere around here. There's plenty of grasslands and forest. Things look pretty calm and peaceful as you walk along this cobblestone road.
Oh, it's noonish right now, so we should probably at least get a half day travel in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every hour or so, we're going to have to stop for Greg to recast Tensor's floating disk.
All right. So as you guys continue along the path, you notice there's far a couple of leagues ahead of you. You notice some smoke right along the road that you're walking.
I will move to the front and start to move quietly. I'll probably try to get like 100 feet ahead.
Much smoke. Are we talking like campfire? A house?
No,
house on
something's
fire?
burning. It's not. This is not campfire. Something's been set on fire. It looks like.
Gray, you're pretty sneaky. You want to come up here too?
Yeah, I'll go to the front and I'll use my senses to try to make sure that we're safe and try to see if there's any danger and try to figure out what that smoke is.
The closer you get to this smoke, as the two of you are out front, you realize that this smoke is from some really large object set on fire. That's what it seems like. It's not a campfire. It has to be some large object. And as you approach the source of the smoke, you realize that the smoke is some sort of wagon that has been set on fire.
Really carefully keeping stealth at this point, since we can see the wagon. Is there anyone about, or is it look abandoned?
The place looks completely abandoned, silent. All you see is a wagon, big wagon on fire. It's about 100 feet ahead of you. And you also see ahead, next to the wagon, there are bodies on the ground.
Cover me while I go in.
Yes, I'll cover him. I'll make ready a bow shot just in case.
And I am going to, first of all, do this. And then I will proceed to slowly, while trying to stay as alert as possible, and quietly make my way towards the wagon to have a look.
You make it to the wagon. There's nothing moves. There's no one around. There's nothing moving. But there are 6 dead humans. 2 of them are halflings. Actually, there's 4 humans and 2 halflings on the ground. It looks like some sort of battle has taken place here. The wagon appears to be some sort of trade wagon, although there are no. The wagon is empty presently. The 2 horses on the wagon that were pulling the wagon have been slain. And you not only have they've been slain, but they have been butchered. You notice that parts of the horses are missing.
They were somebody's dinner, huh? Or lunch.
I'm
gonna
I'll look around the scene while they're checking out the bodies and stuff to see if I can see any footprints or any indication of what type of creatures.
Roll me a
the guy was with.
survival. Roll me a survival with advantage.
All right.
Have we caught up with the rest of the party yet, or are they still there?
I would assume so. I mean, they weren't attacked or anything when they made it there. Yeah, Gray. I don't even think you have to roll. This is unmistakable. These poor people were slaughtered by orcs.
Mm.
And
I would like to make sure that nobody is still able to be helped.
unfortunately, these people have been dead too long. Roll me a medicine check, actually, on the bodies.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna pull the bodies out of the fire if they're near it, and get them out in the open for easy viewing.
Lynn, unfortunately, these bodies are beyond salvation. They've been dead for you think, a good 12 hours or so. Not only that, but as you check the bodies, you realize that parts of the bodies were cut out, muscles in the body. They were carefully cut out as if these bodies were animals like cows having been slaughtered and taken meat and slaughtered for the meat. You notice chunks of body parts were cut out. And Gray, you realize that this is definitely an orc attack. You recognize orc footprints. You recognize the arrows that are shot into the caravan. These are definitely orcish arrows. But even orcs, you never heard of taking body parts. As far as you know, orcs don't eat humanoids. So this is especially brutal, even for an orc.
Yeah, and that's I hate orcs. It's my favorite enemy.
Yeah, so as much as you know about orcs, you think that even orcs wouldn't slaughter and take humanoid body parts.
Can we
Well,
tell how long ago the fire was set?
About the same time these people were killed.
Okay.
And you notice the cart is burning down almost to a crisp at this point. Gray, you do find the orcs' footprints, and you do know which direction they headed. It is actually in the almost the opposite direction of the mountain that you guys are headed at.
I let the rest of the party know that the orcs actually, after they did the deed here, headed the complete opposite direction of which we were originally heading. But I suggest that we chase them.
I would tend to agree with you.
Why?
Well, for one thing, I despise the orcs. For another thing, what they did to these bodies was monstrous and should not go without punishment.
This is particularly gruesome even for me.
But that's not what our quest is.
Is there a time limit that we're on? As far as I was aware, we're only going to be gone for maybe a couple hours, our return time.
That's what happened last time, but I didn't hear any certainty that it would be the same again.
The only reason I would see to give chase these orcs is to make sure they're not going to come back and attack us should they find us.
Yes, not a good idea to leave an enemy behind you.
Other than that, I see no reason to chase them. We should just proceed to the mountain.
The other thing too is we do know that there were orcs that were responsible for overrunning this
fortress.
Yeah. So they might know something about the fortress, something more that we don't know.
I'm guessing there are probably orcs heading in there too, because we know they're coming that way.
Wait, the orcs don't really know of our presence right now. Our presence is not known to them right now, so.
Well, I mean, we're not going to get to the mountain today anyway, so let's maybe assume that they stopped, and if we don't find them by nightfall, maybe we can turn around and head back to the mountain. But if we can catch up to them, I would like to try and catch up to them.
Let's go. Did anybody search the bodies or the
I-
ground?
The bodies have been looted clean. Anything of value has been taken off the bodies. The only rags of their clothing have even remained. Even the parts of their clothing that seemed to be worth something have been taken off. This whole scene has been thoroughly scavenged by the orcs who did it.
I think we go ahead and take off after the orcs. Let's go after the orcs.
These aren't just a bunch of mindless orcs. These are smart orcs that had a plan and came to ambushing that caravan.
Do you wish to read these people their last rites? Anything you want to do to honor the bodies, or I don't know, dead bodies are not exactly my thing. Although I don't mind them.
Would you like to offer a prayer, Lynn?
Lynn will do that.
And is everybody? Should we go ahead and search? That's what I'm voting for. Go try to find.
Yeah,
the
at
orcs.
least until nightfall. If we get to nightfall and we can't find them, then maybe we turn around and head back towards the mountain.
Okay, let's go.
So we're just leaving these people here to be
For now.
carrying.
I mean, even
You think that if you wanted to bury these bodies, it would probably take you till nightfall to dig up 6 graves for these 6 unfortunate individuals.
We could put them on the fire and serve as a funeral pyre.
yeah, that would be a good idea.
Like a poor man's cremation.
I mean, these bodies are already pretty badly mutilated, so
Just throw them in the fire with the wagon, burn them with the wagon.
Well, he said the wagon was already burnt to a crisp. Doesn't sound like there's enough of it left to do that.
Well,
Yeah, there's only a little bit of fire left at this point. The wagon's been burning for a while.
Orcs, and then on the way back, we could maybe do something about the. I mean, we'll have to camp anyway, so on the way back, we could maybe stop here and build a proper funeral pyre for them.
So as you pick up the orcs' trail and you look at the trail, you realize that the orcs, they're not moving at a very fast pace. It seems to be a march, and they go off into the grass, into the forest.
I think our best bet to catch them would be to leave soon.
Yes.
And also, Gray, you count 6 of them. You're pretty sure from the footprints that you can count because of your skills in being able to recognize your favorite enemy. You think you're pretty sure there's 6 of them.
Well, they're heading in that direction. There seems to be only around 6 of them. I say we go now and see if we can catch up with them and possibly even capture one of them and question them. I speak Orcish.
Okay, so you guys want to pick up the trail of this the marauding orcs that did this, that destroyed this caravan.
Yeah, see if we can at least.
You pick up the trail and it leads you through the grasslands deeper into the forest. This is actually the opposite direction of the Stone-Tooth Mountain that you guys saw when you were walking the trail. As you get into the forest, you keep following the trail and you realize that the orcs are starting to move faster after a while. And you guys kind of spend your time trying to catch up to the orcs, and you realize that it's getting dark outside. The sun is going down. When finally you're able to actually find an area where you think the orcs are. You notice now you guys are still staying in the forest. You're staying a good distance away, but you notice that there is a fireplace, and there's a fireplace sort of about 100 or so yards away from you. You think that that's where the orcs are camping.
I turn back to the group and I say, it looks like they made camp for us.
I agree with you. Let's stealthily get a little closer and see if I can hear anything.
Who's going?
I'll go with Gray.
Gray.
I need a stealth
Gray.
check from both of you.
Now, since it's a favored enemy, do I get advantage?
You get advantage in terms of survival checks against them. I don't know if you get advantage on stealth or attacks or anything.
That's fine. I was asking you as a
Yeah.
DM.
No, I think yeah. Your advantage goes on survival and intelligence checks and history checks against him.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, as you stealthily approach the camp, you get there and you notice that the orcs are sitting there grunting to each other, speaking their guttural orcish language, and they are settling down for the evening. All 6 of them are still kind of on alert. They still have their weapons drawn about. You notice that they are carrying a small. It looks like it's like a small wheelbarrow kind of device that they created makeshift, and on it are a whole bunch of supplies. You surmise that this is what they looted from those bodies. And on top of that, it appears that the leader of this orc, and you notice that Gray, you know he's the leader because he is wearing these charms on his helmet that indicate that he is the leader of the band of orcs. You notice that he is carrying a large package, and he's guarding it from the other orcs. And one of the orcs turns to him and says, "Grok Okcha." And I'm going to write something.
Okay.
And this is one of the follower orcs saying to the leader orc,
It's not coming out for me. Oh, there it is. Never mind. I always forget to do that. So it says, he says, will you take the meat of hunting? It's foul and not for eating, is what it says. So the meat that they actually took from the hobbits and humans, I guess, whatever the people were, is not acceptable for eating. So they must be using it for something else.
So the leader of the orcs, the one with the fancy helmet, turns around to the other one and smacks him right across the face and says, and he says this.
He says, Great Ulf demands.
Great Wolf?
Ulf.
Wolf.
So you realize these orcs are arguing back and forth about taking the flesh of the humans. The leader orc says that the great Ulfi demands it, as the other subservient orcs are kind of disgusted and they don't want to do it.
Am I close enough to whisper to Gregory?
I don't know how far back they're staying. We were stealthing up, remember?
Well, I'm gonna suggest to you that maybe Gregory could cast a sleep spell, and then we attack him, then try to capture one of the sleeping ones.
Well, the other two, if you guys want to sneak up with them, you guys have to roll stealth check. I mean, the two of you are just on the edge of the orc camp.
If we can use some military, hand language here, I'm gonna gesture for Gregory to come forward quietly.
How far are you back, Gregory, from what's going on up there?
Probably far enough that I'm not
What if we said he was right at the edge of where the campfire light can be, where they can't see him in the campfire light?
The campfire's set, but it's still light outside. It's not dark yet, so
Okay.
like the sunset is just beginning to set in, and the orcs are just turning down for the night, and then
I'm gonna fan out to the side and try to get like a little bit of a pincer on him. Maybe not a 180, but
certainly from another direction. You mean?
exactly.
Okay.
And if it looks like we draw attention, I'm ready with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. As you continue to listen in, one of the follower orcs goes to the leader, and then once again complainingly starts speaking again. Says, "Look,
Okay, wait a second. Gotta put my glasses on to be able to read it. It says, the human chattel we captured, why not take the meat of that one?
And the leader looks at him and says, and responds.
And the leader says, that one's for breeding. Make a orc human half-breed very strong. I think we need to take care of these orcs.
So now you discovered that not only are these orcs brutally destroying, brutally just murdered these caravan people and took their flesh, but they also captured a human.
Yeah, this is all on you, Gray. I've flanked out at this point, probably far enough that you can't really communicate other than some simple hand gestures.
Well, I will. I think I will stealthily sneak back to Gregory and suggest that he cast a sleep spell, and then we attack the orcs.
Lynn, where are you at in all of this?
Probably about 30 feet back from where they snuck up to, because he does not sneak.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how does you guys choose to handle this? Do you want Gregory to start the battle with a sleep spell?
I mean, that would be my preference.
Actually, if I can cast sleep on them, I could probably.
You think you can group them all to get all 6 of them within your sleep spell if you wanted to try it.
I could probably do it, and then without them, hopefully be able to do it at a distance without them noticing.
Well, the ones that are.
Unfortunately, you feel that once you cast the spell, it'll probably draw their attention. They would recognize that there's magic. You think so because you realize that what you need to do to cast the spell have a verbal component. I think so. Yeah, so you realize that the magical incantation that you have to utter to cast this spell will probably draw their attention.
It might put a few of them to sleep, though.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But then they'll realize that.
Well, we can also be ready in ambush, so as soon as you put a couple of them
Yeah.
to sleep, we'll have follow-up attacks right away.
Come on, we got to take care of these to help to save that human that they have captured.
All right. Then if you want to take an action, you may do so whenever you're ready.
All right, I guess I can cast sleep on them.
Roll me a sleep dice. I think it's a whole bunch of dice I match against their
5d6.
HP. And then everybody roll initiative afterwards.
Does this count as a surprise round?
It does.
Did he roll his sleep dice yet?
Hold on, let's see. There's. Oh, did I just accidentally knock myself out?
You
I
did.
don't think you needed a target.
How do I undo that?
Well, it's not showing on the.
Yeah, you didn't actually put it on your thing.
Yeah, you're fine.
I'll put the sleep effects on the orcs once you cast the spell, because I have to figure out how many orcs get put to sleep.
Alright, so that's 5d8.
I'm not seeing anyone else's initiative order come up.
I just now
Oh, there you
rolled
go.
initiative.
I was waiting till he cast.
5d8 for the sleep spell, and then I'm gonna roll initiative.
You weave the magic to cast the sleep spell, and a big puff of lights and sparkles fly all over the orcs. They know you're there, and it only works on one of them. We're gonna say orc number 6 drops down and starts snoring. The other orcs kind of rally around in a circle, say "Walk too." So you guys get a surprise round. Everybody gets an action before the orcs get to act. Gray, you're first.
Is there a map up?
There's no map. This is theater of mind, man.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you see, there are 5 orcs. They kind of surround themselves in a circle. One of the 6th orc has dropped down, completely unconscious on the ground. The 5 orcs are kind of they are going back to back in a circle. They take out the orcs kind of they take out javelins, looking around, ready to throw their javelins. But you are really quick, and you guys are able to get a surprise round in before they can even act.
Okay. Well,
One orc is not any different than the other. They're kind of standing around equidistant.
okay. So I am going to cast as soon as I find it. Oh, come on. Hunter's Mark, there it is. On
You can
number 4.
you can pick any orc. They're equidistant from each other.
Number 4 is next, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast that on him, and then I'm gonna take a bow and arrow shot at him.
So when you target, you have to target in the combat tracker itself, since we don't have any
didn't
token. You're not targeting him.
Okay.
So you see that target mark right next to...
I think you
the-
put concentration on him, or somebody put the.
Well, that concentration should be on me too. Is it on me?
No, you gave him Hunter's Mark by mistake. I'll take it off. Like, you're supposed to cast Hunter's Mark on yourself, even though you're targeting him.
Okay.
So you gave him Hunter's Mark by mistake. I'll take it off him.
Yeah, this is it works weird.
I know, but you got to do it through the combat tracker. So you see that target marker that you have. You can drag the target marker onto orc number 4. It works the same as if we had tokens, but we don't. Just want to try out the theater of the mind. I personally love
see.
theater of the mind.
I know what you mean. So if I do it like if I just put the dice on it, that'll
Yeah.
do it.
Oh,
I missed. Well, that's not good, but
You-
okay.
I didn't see you drag over because on your effects, if you open up your effects, it should have a little target. You can draw that onto the orc that you want to be targeted.
Yeah, as you can see, next to your name on the combat tracker, there is a skull. I think
Yeah, I see
you
the
also have that little thing that looks like a target marker, the circles.
I don't have that. I just
Yeah,
got the effects thing.
The targeting part's not showing for us.
Oh, then do you know how to fix that?
I think you have to change it in the setup. Or in the options, rather.
This is important in the future. If I want to not have a map, I need to learn how to do it. Okay, so I will go to the setup. No, not the setup. It's options for me.
And, yep, and I think it would be under Combat GM. Here, which one?
Combat. Add auto NPC initiative, NPC numbering, NPC roles, player, ring bell on turn, player show turn order. View bars, view ally, view wound. Huh. Oh, this is actually important because in the future, if I want to do non mapped combat, you guys can't target.
Sorry, I'm just doing this to see if
I
yeah,
think
it
if you
doesn't.
click on them and with control click, that should target it. I'm still
Oh,
trying to
no,
figure-
no, no. You got to click the little head with the 5 stars above it and make it black, and then you should be able to see the little plus sign. I can see it on my head.
Oh yeah, now I see it. So Gray, do you see?
Control click
I
does
do not
the
see a little
target.
plus sign.
No, in the combat tracker, you have your name, and over on the right, you'll see a little face with like 5 stars above it.
Yeah, yeah.
Click on that; it'll turn black.
It is black.
Okay, and it'll say, fighting style on, damage
It says that.
1d6, C on.
Right.
And you should be able.
Oh,
there
I
should be a
see the little
target,
target. Yeah,
and
but
you take that target and you drag it where you want it to go.
There we go.
so I'm not sure. I did.
Yep.
I took.
See, now it says targets orc number 4.
So now should I roll the?
Well, you already rolled and it was a 1 on your attack.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, you shot an arrow, but it went way wide. Went right over the orc's head.
Okay.
This is still a surprise round, however, and the orcs are not going yet. So Drake, you're up.
I'm gonna go after orc number 2 because he's the last in initiative, and this is gonna be a Eldritch Blast.
No,
And,
you did better than me.
yeah, but only 1 point of damage.
Oof.
Well,
Oh, that's a tough one. Lynn.
Rusty.
Lynn, you come out of the bushes and you see that battle has commenced. Your allies are on opposite sides of this group of orcs that has surrounded each other in a circle. And you just came out of the bushes. It's your turn. You get a surprise round before the orcs even act.
If after moving 30 feet, would I be within 60 feet of one of the orcs?
Yeah.
Okay. So orc number 3, does that work?
That's fine.
And I will cast Sacred Flame.
That orc has succeeded on a dex save.
So that is
All right. So Greg, you cast sleep. You only managed to put one orc down. Now you get another turn before the orcs come around and start acting.
All right. And, what? Do I want to cast Shatter or do I want to cast Fire?
I will tell you the problem with Shatter is that it makes a noise that will
It might wake up the
any
sleeping
creature.
one, yeah.
Oh, it will. It's like a thunderclap. It will wake up just about anything within 300 feet.
Okay, well, I'll cast Firebolt on. I will cast it on orc number 4. So, do I just control click or do I hit that?
If control click works, then try it. But I think you need to do that thing where you open up your sheet, open up your character in the combat tracker, and find the target.
He'll be good with it because it's an attack roll, so he just needs to control click the orc. that
Okay,
wants to attack.
I'm targeting. It says I'm targeting orc 4, so I cast
Yep.
Firebolt. And
You got it.
hit.
Wham!
Nice.
Bolt, motive fire.
1 point of damage. Oh my God.
Oh man, you guys been rolling some ones. Gray, you get to act again before the orcs rally.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, that was a surprise round. It's a free round.
Okay.
So now this is the official initiative.
Guess I'll attack orc number 4. Well, now since I have him targeted, Drake, what do I just need to roll it now, or do I need to do
You're
something
good.
else?
You're good. Just go ahead and make your attacks, and it should automatically apply.
That's a hit.
Okay. No, that ain't right.
Didn't. Hold on.
I mean, I even dragged the 1d8 plus 3 piercing over there.
That's what it's showing, isn't it? Up there, or is it
Oh,
on the
d8.
chat?
Oh, you don't actually have orc number 4 targeted. You just have him targeted on the spell. You don't have him targeted for the attack. That's why it didn't apply. Now go ahead and roll your damage, and it should apply. This is just experimentation purposes.
You know, it's important we learn this. Otherwise, I can't run theater of the mind combats.
Okay.
We start off easy before.
See, there you go.
And also,
You
bonus-
wound this orc badly as it flies right through, and it also has your hunter's mark too, which is great.
Yeah, it automatically
so-
applies that.
So as a bonus, I want to cast the Gathered Swarm, which is automatic 1d6 damage.
So as not only do you launch an arrow right through this orc's right into the orc's side, but all these what kind of insects do you have going on? Locusts or flies?
Wasps this time.
Yeah, you see a huge swarm of wasps just start circling this orc, and he starts batting them away. Does it affect the orc in any other way beside damage?
That's just piercing damage.
Ah! The orc is screaming and yelling. Is that your turn?
That's pretty satisfying. Am I in cover, or am I close to cover, or are you counting me in cover? Or if there's any cover close, I would like to move to cover.
Okay, you can move to cover, but you realize that you are within kind of running distance for these orcs.
Okay, that's fine.
Like it can run, it will run up to you. Looks like it's seen you, and it's about to come up to you and attack you. The one that you've been attacking.
Okay. Well, I have no other bonus or any other type actions that I can take. So
You can move away if you want to.
I can. Okay, then I will move away as far as I can to try to get out of his range.
Yeah, pull him up next to Lynn.
So this orc that you just shot, he runs into the bushes right after you. He gets far enough where he can launch a javelin at disadvantage because it's long distance. So he's going to target you and launches and he hurls one of his javelins trying to hit you, but he has to throw it at disadvantage. And he misses.
Ah, stupid orc! I'll get you next time.
Orc number 6, the other orcs turn and they see Greg, who just cast 2 spells at them. And they are ready to assault Greg. So orc number 6 is going to run up to you, Greg. He runs right up next to you and he swings his great axe at you.
He's unconscious.
Oh, I'm sorry, orc number 5, not orc number 6.
You skip my turn. It's all right. I am going to target orc number 2, which is already wounded, and this will be an Horror Eldritch Blast.
That is a hit.
Nice.
Nice.
Damage.
Big
And
blast.
I'm going to duplicate Gray's move here. I'm going to pull back about 20 or 30 feet and kind of tuck myself behind a tree so that they have to come forward towards me. And then I'll pass my turn.
Orc number 5 is going to move up to you, Greg. You're the one casting magic at it. Going to target you. And he takes out a big axe. And you realize that these orcs, they're extremely fast. It appears that they have the ability to move more than you do on their turns because of their abilities. So this orc runs up to you and swings at you with his axe, and he hits you, chopping.
He doesn't cast shield.
Oh, in that case, what is your AC?
My AC becomes 17.
In that case, he does not hit you. Right before he hits you, bam, it clangs off your shield. And that is his turn. Orc number 3. What you realize what the orcs like to do is they like to surround their enemy and kill their enemy. Orc number 3 tries to do the same thing. You had the shield on, so he comes after you. It's your target. Runs up to you. You realize the orcs are extremely fast and attacks you.
Oh, that hits.
Breaking through your shield, he smashes down on you. Boom.
You don't have your mage armor up, do you?
No, I don't have it on right now. Alright.
Lynn, you're up.
Can I get to the orc that's attacking Gregory?
There are 2 orcs. Both of them are right on top of Gregory. You can get to them.
Okay, then she will do that and use her mace to attack number 3.
Get him, Lynn.
Targeting. Oh.
I was sliding on a natural
Nice.
20. I saw that.
But only 1 damage again for our group.
Yeah, man, our damage rolls have been not good.
All right, Greg, you're up. You have 2 orcs on you.
Alright, and they're both within melee range of me.
Yeah, and you have 2 other orcs that look like they want to also swarm you.
Alright, so, what can I do in that situation? Let's see. So here's what I'm
Evil
gonna
laugh.
do. So which 2 orcs are attacking me?
5 and 3. Both of them are right next to you. One of them swung and hit your shield. The other one broke through your shield and nicked you pretty bad.
Alright, so 5, 4, and 3. I'm gonna cast
Actually-
Magic Missile.
Orc 4 is actually not on top of you. Orc 4 is chasing Gray.
Yeah.
But you can still get it with Magic Missile if you want to.
Alright, so the first Magic Missile, that'll affect Orc 4. And that's... Ooh.
The first Magic Missile, it pounds into Orc number 4's brain and knocks him unconscious, dead. Plop, he dies.
And then the second one will hit Orc number 5. And then the last one, Orc number 3.
So you know it does. It's applying damage to 2 of them, 3 and 5, both of those.
Yeah,
damage.
yeah. What happened is like when you roll the damage, it was damaging all 3 of them. That's why they both. So Orc number 5 only got 2 damage, right?
Okay.
And Orc number 3 only got 3 damage because what was happening is because you had all 3 targeted, when you rolled it, it was applying damage to all 3. Orc number 4 is definitely dead. He only had like 2 hit points, and you blasted him with a magic missile. He's gone.
Thanks, Gregory. I owe you one, man.
All right.
You went smack on the 2 orcs right in front of you, but they're very angry, and they raised their great axes ready to strike you down.
All right, and I guess that will conclude my turn.
Did your shield dissipate?
Oh, yes, it did.
Orc number 1.
Before I confirm that, let me make sure that that's how shield works.
Yeah, it disappears at the end of your turn.
Orc number 1, looking somewhat more burly than the other orcs. It appears that he's the leader. He's the guy with the fancy charms on his helmet. Wakes up the sleeping orc. Wokta! And you hear the word kill, maim. As he wakes up orc, he uses his action to wake up orc number 6.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all we needed. Just delay one more orc 1 round.
Orc number 2, that is the one that you assaulted with with an Eldritch Blast. So even though you ran from this orc has an ability as a bonus action. It can move up to its speed towards a hostile creature so it can double move as a bonus action. And you notice that this orc moves 60 feet and gets right up in your face and swings at you.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop shield.
With a shield, the orc swing, bam, smacks off the shield.
Yeah, that brings my AC up to 20 till my next turn.
Gray, you're up again on top of initiative. That orc that was chasing you has gone down.
Yeah. Which orcs is attacking Gregory?
Orc number 5, orc number 3, and now orc number 1 and orc number 6 have woken up, and they're kind of ready to go and attack Gregory too. You notice that the orcs you know for a fact that the way orcs fight is that they don't fight fair. They will swarm one person and kill that person before they swarm a second person.
Okay, so orc number
Use
3.
the advantage. Oh, they swarm me. Everybody else can just pick them off.
If you last.
If I last, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to target orc number 3. That was one of them that was around him, right?
Yeah.
All right. So. And also move my. Did it target?
You did target, yes.
Okay. I also move my hunter's mark as a bonus action.
Put the hunter's mark on yourself. That's how it works. I remember. So you just keep in mind who it's targeted on, but you have to you put the effect on yourself to get the damage.
And I'll take a shot at orc number 3.
You moved your hunter's mark?
Yeah. Well,
before you roll damage, you should redrag that target onto target number 3.
Well, you haven't targeted.
No, he has him targeted for the attack, but he doesn't have him targeted for the hunter's mark.
The hunter mark automatically rolls when you roll the attack. The hunter mark is on him. We remembered from last time that you had to put the hunter's mark on yourself, not your target.
No,
for it to work.
You put the spell on you, but you have to tell the spell who it's affecting. So you have to draw that mark on
I did.
Mark number 3. Now roll your damage and it'll apply.
Yeah. Okay, and
you heavily wound orc number 3. He looks really bad. You shot an arrow right through its neck.
Well, I'm going to send a nice swarm of hornets to greet him as well.
You already used your bonus action to move the hunter's mark.
This is not. Oh, wait a minute. I have to look and see what it is. I thought I could just do it because it's an ability.
Do what?
Does it say that you can do it, or is it a bonus action?
I know the swarm is a bonus action, isn't it?
Says on each of your turns you can cause the swarm to assist you in one of the following way. Immediately after your creature is hit, you can attack the creature and it takes 1d6 damage, so it doesn't say that it's a bonus action, it's just an ability.
If it's not a bonus action, then you can just do it, I guess. And then it's a free action. I have to look that up, but it doesn't sound like it's a bonus action. So I don't see a reason why you have to use a bonus action.
Well, I think I already did it, so because I accidentally rolled it, so I think it already damaged it because it says it's dying now. So I went ahead and rolled the gathered swarm, and it did 5 damage.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. So
Gather. I am reading Gathered Swarm right now.
Yep, he is right. It does not take a bonus action. It basically, he always has them following him.
Yeah, there's no need for a bonus action for that. It's just you said bonus action previously. That's why we got.
I did say it the first time.
Exactly.
I said it the first time.
That's okay.
That was my fault.
Orc number 3. Can you tell me how your bees kill Orc number 3? Because I'm interested.
A swarm, and because I'm upset because they've been attacking Gregory, they swarm right into his face and pierce his eyes and other parts of his face and hit his neck and open up a blood vein there, and blood just goes squirting out, and the dude falls dead, and the other orcs are looking at him in amazement and are like, oh man, I'm getting out of here.
I like that, man. Take some inspiration for that. Orc number 3 also happens to be allergic to bees, and bam, he's gone. He's no more.
And I'm going to take the opportunity to move, so I'm still in range with Gregory, so I could help him out, but try to get farther out of range of any of the orcs running after me. In my turn.
You can move up to 30 feet, but you realize that these orcs move even farther. These aggressive orcs, orc number 6 and orc number 1, saw what you did to that orc, and they turned towards you. And you realize that they can move up to 60 feet. And they get right on you. Orc number 6 gets right on you, takes out his great axe, and he screams in your face. He sees your elvish ears, and he recognizes you as his mortal enemy. Swings his great axe at you. Oh, I'm sorry, I rolled twice. Just take the first one.
It was a dropped 17, so you rolled with disadvantage, and you still hit.
Yeah, why did I roll with disadvantage? Oh, I'm sorry, he's mistakenly unconscious. He's not unconscious anymore.
Oh.
But even with disadvantage, he hits, so I'm going to have to do some damage from orc number 6. You ready for this, Gray?
Sure.
Oof! 9 points of damage as he swings, connects with his axe.
Ouch.
Orc number 5, he is still on you, Greg.
Alright.
He swings at you. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah.
He got you again.
Yep, and even a shield spell won't protect me from that one.
Oh, that's brutal.
Oh.
Whack.
So I am unconscious, ain't I?
This orc puts Greg down, and he screams to the top of his lungs in a victory cry, and he looks around to see who's around, and he sees you, Drake. He's coming after you next. Lynn, you're up.
I could use some company over here.
So, are any of the orcs still within range of melee from me?
You can get within range of all the orcs, except for the one that's chasing after Gray.
And that one is 5?
6.
6, okay. So I will stay on 5.
5 is the one that just put Greg down.
Okay, so he is not within range, or is
He is.
5 is, yeah.
Because you're near Greg, and so is 5.
It's not. So.
Okay.
You got him.
Nice.
Another one.
Oh, man.
Greg, I need a death save.
Death save. Let's see what we got here. A pass. Yay.
Not bad, not bad. You got one pass.
And that's all I can do, so that's my turn.
Orc number 1 has joined Orc number 6 in chasing you down, Gray.
Gray or Drake?
Gray. Greg is already down.
Oh, okay.
I generally don't play enemies attacking down party members unless they have a personal vendetta against you. I think Gray, because you have elvish ears, if the orcs put you down, they would attack your unconscious body.
That's fine. Let him attack.
He runs 60 feet.
I'll give as much as I get.
He runs 60 feet right in your face. Swings his great axe at you. Boom, connects with his brethren right next to him. Devastating 12 points of damage. Orc number 2, I believe he is on you, Drake.
Yes, he is.
And he is going to swing his axe on you. He's the one that you shielded before, correct?
Yes.
He is very frustrated. He wants to take you down. But he misses.
Actually, that 5 should be off by now. Sorry, let me go ahead and remove that. But yeah, it still misses.
Yeah, his total attack was 9, so it's not gonna hit. Okay, we're all the way on the top of initiative again. Gray, you're up. You have 2 orcs on you. You have orc number 6 and orc number 1. Both of them have been swinging their axes. They're right next to you.
I can't really get away from them because they'd catch up with me anyway.
Yeah, you realize that the orcs, you know just from your knowledge of orcs that they can, as a bonus action, run their speed.
So they can dash as bonus action.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as they are doing so to attack.
Well, I guess I'll have to attack. There's not much else I can do. I can't afford to take an advantage. What do they call it? A disengage.
Opportunity, yeah.
Opportunity attack.
You can disengage them, but if you do so,
Well, they'll catch up with me.
they will absolutely catch up with you. You know that.
Yep. So I will, let's see if I can do this again. Hunter's Mark. Might as well hit one of them with Hunter's Mark. Orc number 6, did you say, was close to me?
They're both close to you. 6 and 1. They're both after you.
Okay.
And you recognize this as orc tactics. They will make a situation where they can swarm an enemy and take that enemy down. The more they have, the better.
So with my in my number 1 hand, I'll go ahead and attack it with my sword, and then I'll take a second attack with my short sword.
Both at the same?
Not at the same time, but
No, both at the same orc, I mean.
yeah.
Okay.
Right, the one that I just put the which should be orc number 6, I think.
Yep.
That's a hit.
Well, that's a devastating attack on orc number 6. That sword slices right through the orc's arm. Orc almost drops his weapon.
Okay, well with that hit, I'll use my ability of. Should I take the swing with my offhand first and then use the ability, or vice versa?
That's up to that doesn't matter to me.
Well, I'm going to go ahead with the offhand and see if I can hit him with that. 'Cause then I can-
If you Hunter's Marked, then you used your bonus action.
So is that what does that mean? That I can't take use my second sword?
Yeah, you can't use a second strike with 2 weapons.
Because
Okay, then I guess I'll do the gather swarm then.
that's enough. Your swarm killed a second orc, also allergic to bees.
I think all orcs are allergic to bees, aren't they?
Well, 2 of them are.
So one of the 2 orcs coming after you goes down as your hornets just sting into it. It can't handle it. Boom, it's dead.
I point at orc number 1 and say, "You're next," with the hornets.
Orc number 1, the leader of the orcs, pounds his chest and screams out, "I will take your ears, elf." Drake is up.
Yep, this is going to be a // moment. So I'm going to start with orc number 2. And then I think I also have orc 5 in base to base with me.
Or you don't, but you can run up to orc 5. That's fine.
Okay, I thought a second orc ran up to me.
No, you remember you were on the opposite end, and there says it doesn't matter. You can run up. It's theater of the mind. Go ahead and run up. Take your attack.
We'll save orc number 1 for questioning. And that's a miss. Okay.
You strike out at orc number 5, and he is happy to return the favor. Swings his axe at you.
Yeah, I'll eat that gladly.
Whack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Good. Awesome. Yeah.
Eats through your temporary hit points and makes you bleed. And as the orc sees you bleed, you can see he licks his lips. Lynn, you're up.
I'm within 60 feet of Gregory.
Absolutely. You were actually closer than you were really close to him because you attacked the orc that put him down.
Yeah.
So, with my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Word on Gregory.
Yay, Lynn.
That brings Gregory up. As some of his wounds close down, brings him from the brink of death.
And I'm going to try to smack the orc.
You hit the orc. You hit the orc real hard.
All right.
Finally,
Nice smack.
something besides a 1.
Greg, you are back to life. Yeah,
Alright.
you're on the ground. You realize that your wounds are closing a little bit. It really hurt, those orcs swarming you.
Alright, is Orc 5 still swarming me?
Oh, yeah. But your allies are helping out. They're attacking him.
Alright.
No, actually, technically, you're swarming Orc 5 at this point. Because there's 3 of you on Orc 5.
Alright, I'm gonna do something a little silly. Let's see, do I want to do this? I'm still targeting Orc 5. Magic Missile or Firebolt?
Unfortunately, if you try to cast a fireball, you realize that Orc number 5 is really close to you, so you're not going to be able to hit him easily.
Screw it, I'm gonna cast Magic Missile before getting up. I'm just gonna, while I'm still prone,
You can absolutely do that.
I'm gonna cast Magic Missile at Orc number 5. I'm still targeting him. Looks like. First one does.
The first missile kills him.
All right.
Nice.
You have 2 more missiles. You can throw them at Orc 1.
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna just to use them.
Well, I kind of need them.
All right, so he's heavily damaged, and then as Orc 5 is down, I'm still prone. I'm just like, that's what you get, you son of a bitch. Then I end my turn.
Orc number 1, Gray, you see this guy, he's been swarming you, and as he's trying to attack you, 2 missiles hit him upside the head. Oh. Not to be deterred, this leader of the orcs continues to take you down. He's noticed your elvish ears, and orcs hate elves the most of all. He's coming after you.
We hate him too.
Ooh, that's another hit.
Oh man!
The leader orc puts you down. And as you go down, the orc is not done. He sets his axe like an executioner on your head, ready to slice your head off. Death save. It's your turn.
My turn?
Yeah, and you got a death
save.
You went down.
What I roll?
Give me a death save.
I mean, what I roll, I don't remember.
Just a flat 20, d20.
Your main character sheet, there's death save
I see it.
at the bottom.
I found it.
Oh boy. You have one failure on your death save, and you notice orc number 1 has your head lined up to chop it off. You don't notice, you're unconscious, but everybody else notices that.
I'm dreaming about it right now. It's a nightmare.
Drink. Orc number 1 looks like he's about to execute Gray over there.
Yeah, I'd say we take this one alive, and I'm trying to do the remaining damage here.
Well, if you want to do non-lethal damage, I think it has to be a melee attack.
Yes, it will be melee, so I'll move up to him. And get right up behind him. And yeah, I'm just basically trying to subdue him, so I'm going to conk him over the back of the head, I guess.
So you still roll an attack on him,
Yeah.
but the damage, if your damage exceeds him, it's a non-lethal attack.
Yep. Oh, nice. Oh, double nice.
Okay. You non-lethally choke the orc down and drop him.
Yeah, reach the arm around with the scimitar and just slowly bring him to the ground.
All right,
My turn.
combat is over, but Gray, you are bleeding out.
And Lana's going to cast Cure Wounds on Gray.
So you have this orc, appears to be the leader, subdued. He is unconscious, choked out on the ground.
Well, we tie him up.
I've got manacles, so I'll throw manacles on him.
Nice.
Okay.
And then we're gonna. I've already thought this out. I'm gonna take out my 50-foot rope and like tie it around his ankles, and then throw it up over a strong, big, thick tree limb, and we're gonna heave him up into the air.
All right.
He's
So
hanging upside down.
all right, you got him completely. You got him completely strung up and handcuffed and hanging upside down from a tree.
Well, I'm going to suggest to Lynn that her and I go find the human captive and see if they need any help.
You look around the camp, and there are no captives in the camp. There are 5 dead orcs that you guys have dispatched. There's this leader orc that you have strung up. In the camp itself, you see that little makeshift wagon. Inside the wagon, you see a couple of goods. Like they're mostly grains and food goods that obviously the caravan was transporting before they were attacked. There's no gold or anything that seems to be of monetary value. Not that, this is mostly like foodstuffs. And you see some clothes and things like that the caravan people had been wearing.
So what about the meat that they took? Is that there?
Oh yeah, there's a big package. There's a big bloody package wrapped in deer leather. You can see there's blood like oozing out of it. And as you open up the package, you see a gruesome sight. There's strips of meat. This meat came from those poor adventurers.
Can you, whoever is good at tracking, can you tell if there is any other footprints of like showing, did they ever have a captive here in this
Yeah,
camp?
yeah, Gray. This is Gray. I will check.
Gray,
Camp.
you know, from what you see, there have not been any captives from this orc warband. This orc band pretty much just looted that caravan and took the goods and came here. You know, I mean, you're pretty sure these the only footprints you see are the footprints of these orcs themselves.
They were talking about an earlier raid that they took a captive.
Yeah, they said that. They said that the human was for breeding purposes.
Yeah, it almost sounded like they had her here.
That's what I thought. That's why I was looking for her. But
Well, we have one to interrogate if you'd like to wake him up.
You may wake him up, splash some water on his face, whatever, if you want to.
I think I'll just kick him. Give him a big smack in the face.
He wakes up and he curses you. He screams out curses. May Grumish eat your soul.
I don't care about curses from some coward who attacks a bunch of defenseless traders on a trade route and then takes their meat and their goods and kills them.
The orc leader turns it to you, and then he struggles, but he's able to say out in common, "You are prey, nothing more."
You are captive, nothing more.
Yeah, I would say we have you hung up like an animal right now. Seems to me like you're the prey.
I fail. Let prey capture me. I deserve death.
Question is, how is that death going to come?
You can try to intimidate. You can try to roll an intimidation on him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Give him some aid, Lynn. You are a pretty tough priestess.
Are we doing this with advantage then?
And guidance.
Guidance, that's what I meant.
Oh, no advantage?
No advantage. You can have guidance, not advantage. The orc just starts laughing as blood starts spurting out of his mouth. Who you think you are? You think you can assault the orc fortress?
Where is the orc fortress?
You don't look like stupid. I think you know. And he squirms a little bit, and then he says, the fortress, Stone Tooth Mountain, Dwarf Cave. I think you already know why you go there, why you have armor and weapon. You come to assault the orcs. You will die.
Why were you running away from them? Were you a coward?
What do you mean running away?
You were running in the opposite direction of the stone fortress.
We on patrol.
Are there other patrols out as well?
There is 3 patrols. We are one of 3 patrols. When we return, second patrol will come out. If we don't return, the second patrol will come out anyway. You think you win by killing me and kill this patrol? Ha! We are without number.
I don't know about winning, but I think we'll feel better by killing you.
Which patrol is it that took the captive?
What captive? And he's kind of looking at you like pretending to deceive you, but it's obvious that he's not.
The human you were talking about eating.
A
We're
human.
not stupid. We heard you.
We
Yes.
capture prey all the time. I don't know what you're saying.
You seem pretty mad when your underling wanted to take that prey. You seemed afraid of Ulfi or whatever his name was.
Well,
Who is this?
you hear the name Ulfi. Oh,
Yeah, so who is Ulfi?
Ulfi is great leader. Ulfi, once he finds you, will eat you alive while you scream. I have seen it. He will eat you piece by piece.
Well, if you're any indication of how tough Ulfi is, I'm not too scared, really.
You catch us, you get lucky, you surprise us, but you will never surprise Ulfi. The eyes of Grumesh see all. They will see you when you come to the fortress.
Is Grumish your shaman?
You would know this. Grumish is part of the lore of orcs. He is the god that the orcs worship.
Ah, I see. Okay. So what were you going to do with the captives, and have you been capturing other human beings around here to breed your so-called half-orcs?
Half orcs, stronger than orc, smart as human, great asset to the clan. We only find strongest human, we don't use weak human.
So Ulfi thinks you're too weak, so he wants to go and breed some stronger warriors than you and your friends.
If you capture me, I am weak and I deserve to die.
Is Wolfie another orc like yourself?
Oh, Ulfi is greater than orc.
What is Ulfi?
Ulfi is big, hungry, giant monster.
What sort of monster?
He doesn't seem willing to tell you. He just kind of just shuts down.
A big, giant, scary monster, eh?
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
Yeah. We encountered a big, hairy, scary monster in our last adventure. What was his name? Oh yeah, I remember his name. His name was Balzac.
Ballsack.
Yeah, his name was Balzac. And everyone was talking about how big and scary he was and everything up until
Usually
and how
when they
invincible he was up until we killed him.
usually when they clam up like this, it means that they're not so sure about the bigness of their big mean boss. Almost always a sign of weakness, and this one's even admitted to weakness.
Yeah.
You're just a pathetic, weak orc.
Okay, what would you like to do? This orc, he's not going anywhere.
Well, we're gonna probably camp here, right?
With the orc hanging?
Well, okay, so I am going to ask one last question, and that is how often, when is the next patrol expecting you back?
By sundown, if we do not return, next patrol will come out.
Do they come out during the night, or do they just come out during the day?
Move faster at night.
Okay, insight check.
Insight check for what?
I just want to know if he's lying about that, whether it's like...
Oh, sure. You don't think he's lying?
I is it showing me the numbers in the dice tower? There's yeah, whatever. Never mind.
It's showing you what you rolled, and I don't think so.
I don't
Because
know.
I
It
can
just
see
says
tower and
Higgs,
23 for
Dagon,
his
tower,
last roll.
skill, intimidation.
23 was something you rolled outside the tower. That's why.
Oh
But it
yeah.
says
Okay.
tower by it.
It does say tower on the chat.
No, the one you rolled in tower was a D4.
Oh,
It was something else.
I was okay.
Yeah, I think you rolled a D4 inside the tower, and then you rolled the intimidation outside the tower. Or not. Or I'm not really sure.
At any rate,
Would you like to make camp for tonight? If you do so, why don't we take our little break now, in-game break? You guys can make camp.
yeah, I was gonna ask Gray. Set away from the orc. Are you planning to let this one live, or
I'm planning on killing him.
okay? So,
I hate orcs.
Yeah, when do you want to do it, and how gruesome about it do you want to be?
Actually, is there any more other information that you think we can get out of him?
Well, he's partially seemed to clam up for the moment.
Well, unless anybody else can think of anything else, I think we just should go ahead and kill him now, clear the bodies out of here, and then I can cast alarm and we can camp.
Sound like a bad idea.
Somebody
Although-
should probably keep a watch.
I'm not sure we could camp here because if they patrol, if there's any regular kind of territory, then wouldn't this be where the next orcs would come to looking for them?
Well, looking around as a ranger, is there any like a copse of trees or a thicket or any place that I see that seems to be a safe place to camp that's close?
You realize you're in an area in the region where there's plenty of places to camp if you don't want to camp here specifically. Because there's forest, and then there's mountain ranges a little bit beyond, and then there's the road with the grasslands. So you think you can probably find a safe campsite.
I actually say we stay near this campsite. I think I would like to try to take the bodies and set them up to look like the camp overslept.
Ah,
Like clean them up and see if by tomorrow morning another band of orcs comes roaming this way.
yeah, that seems pretty sneaky. I kind of like it.
Yeah, sure, you can do that. Where are you gonna stay at this camp, or are you gonna kind of go somewhere else?
I think we're gonna probably
to
move
rest.
off the camp into the woods.
Somewhere where we can see this camp, have somebody keeping watch and be able to tell if something's coming in this direction.
Okay, perfect. Who wants to keep watch on this camp, or are
Well,
you gonna
actually-
rotate?
I do have alarm as a spell, which it can silently.
You see
alert
that
us.
there's a unoccupied nearby cave that you guys can probably make a safe camp in.
Why
And
not trust that unoccupied word?
oh, it's you checked it. It's unoccupied. There's no extra secret entrances. You don't think it's a safe place. So you think you can camp there? I mean, because you've looked around to see what's safe, and that area is probably the safest.
I also say that we need to keep this fire going because the smoke is sure to probably draw them towards this camp.
Mhm.
Tell me who is keeping watch. Is somebody keeping watch the whole night without resting, or is there somebody are you alternating?
I need to heal, so I definitely
Probably
need to have a.
rotate.
I definitely need to heal.
And I can
I need
cast.
to restore my spell slots. So
Lynn will
definitely
take
need
first
one.
watch if you want, and I can heal people before I start the watch.
Yeah, I can probably take the midnight watch. The middle watch.
Okay, so let's take our in-game break, and you go ahead and you wake up Drake. He comes out for his shift,
And I can see in the dark, so
Yeah, I know that you got the. Well, how you got 30 foot of the true vision, right? The dark vision.
60 feet of dark vision.
Dark vision. Well, your shift is also uneventful. You have
Nice.
once again the bodies are kind of smelling bad. You keep the fire going. The scene still looks good, but it's kind of grossing you out sitting there with all the dead orcs. You go and you wake up Gray. Gray, you come out and you start your shift. Oh shit! Whoops.
Don't say that. That's the worst words ever from him.
If it's before I'm off, if it seems like the bodies are starting to smell a little bit, I'll throw a little bit of alcohol in the situation and make it seem like they're drunk sleeping.
Now it smells even worse. It smells even worse. It smells like brandy and dead orc.
I did say I was casting alarm, so if
You
anyone
cast
is-
alarm on your camp, not this camp, right?
Huh?
Yeah, not our camp, their camp.
Oh, you cast alarm. Did you cast alarm on the camp where your allies are sleeping, or the alarm on the
I
camp?
cast alarm where we were at. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say you should put alarm on the camp that they're sleeping at.
Roll me a perception.
Okay. You want me to do a perception?
Give me a perception.
All right.
You're keeping vigilant watch. You notice a figure coming out of the darkness of the woods. This figure appears to be a dwarf. The dwarf is naked except for a loincloth. A very old dwarf. He looks like this. In his hand, he's carrying an old, dull battle axe. And you see him kind of moseying along, and as you watch him, you're remaining completely silent. You realize that this dwarf is blind. And you see him coming up to the camp. And he wields his battle axe, brings it up as if he's ready to strike. He's looking around and he's kind of trying to feel for the area of the camp, and he kind of starts feeling around. Do you want to do anything, or you just want to watch, see what he does?
Does anybody? Oh, I do speak Dwarven. Maybe I'll wait to see. Just wait one more second to see what he does.
He feels around and he gets to one of these the bodies of the sleeping orcs. And he screams, "Ah, ye blasted orc! I will strike at thee!" And he takes his battle axe and he chops down on the body of the orc. Again and again, and he chops 4 times. And he screams out, "Howl! Howl! Howl! Howl!"
This is hilarious. This is hilarious.
He continues to strike at the body of the dead orc.
Please stop it before he completely obliterates this thing.
I shout in Dwarven, friend dwarf, friend dwarf. Easy for you to say.
As well,
You have destroyed all the orcs in that camp.
initially, as you shout out, it appears that he doesn't even hear you. He's in such a frenzy, just attacking this orc. And then after you shout out again, then he stops. He pokes his head up, and he kind of moves his head around to try to listen. "Who goes there? Who art thou?" "Another orc. Is this an orc trick?"
No, we are friends. We despise the orcs as well. We hate the orcs.
"Hate the orcs. Hate the orcs." And he looks around and he's wielding his battle axe, looking to he faces towards the direction of your general voice, and he raises his battle axe like ready to fight. "Are you there? Are you a spirit? Are you a boil? I shall destroy you too."
No, we are friends. No orc would dare use the dwarven language.
"Just because you speak like a dwarf does not make you a friend. I have no friends.
Well, there's more than one of us here, and we have not attacked you because we do not want to harm you. We are the enemies of your enemies.
Ah, mine own tears do scald me like molten lead. All have betrayed me. I am alone in this world. I am a man more sinned against than sinning. You realize that this dwarf is quite mad.
Would you like to join us in some food? We'll gladly share our provisions with you.
Come not further, villain! And he swings at the air. He's clearly blind and mad, and he's naked.
What is your name?
My name? Oh, Laertes. That, I believe it is my name, but tell me, who is it that can tell me who I truly am? Who am I?
Wait, what did you say his name was?
Laertes.
Laertes. Do you know a dwarf named Durgeddin? However you say that.
His name was Durgeddin, and I'm writing, that's this guy's name, Laertes. Durgeddin. I'm Durgeddin.
I didn't catch what you said that time.
Perhaps I'm Durgeddin.
Why do you laugh?
I don't know. I'm a man. I am a dwarf. Oh, I am blind and I see the world with no eyes.
Are you perhaps a dwarven smith?
Smith. I'm whatever you want me to be.
Do you know what happened to the great dwarven fortress that was around here?
Dwarven fortress. My castle, for I am a king. King Laertes.
I'm assuming everybody else is awake by now, so you're welcome to join in on the conversation.
Yeah, so you guys are, the two of you are talking. You're trying to like talk this crazy dwarf down as the rest of the party wakes up from their long rest. Let me. Should I give everybody a long rest, or will that screw up all your effects?
No, I mean, if you give us a long rest, that's fine.
I don't. Yeah, but I don't want to screw up your the effects that you have.
That's
Hold
fine
on.
with me.
Okay.
No, yeah, I can
there
always
we go.
reply.
There we go. Long rested. And let me take off your targets. Those orcs are dead, and you still have them targeted.
Yeah. Is he? Are these two still talking in Dwarvish?
I can, but he speaks common because we understood him when he first come up, I guess.
Yeah, he's speaking to you in common at this point.
Friend, you mind coming this way? We kind of set up an ambush for the next orc patrol, and they might be along any time now. So, really, if you could make yourself
Comfortable at our
hidden.
campsite.
Yeah,
Have
make
some
yourself
food.
comfortable. But we are lying in ambush.
I am a king. I do not take orders.
Then would you like some tea? Lynn says.
Who's that? One of me daughters. One of me 3 daughters that betrayed me.
My name is Lynn, and I'm a priestess of Saloon.
Where are mine daughters? Where is Gloucester? Where are they? They betrayed me. I will have their heads.
perhaps we could help you, Lord. We know not who you speak of, but we're new to this land.
Help me, how can you help me? No one can help me. The pit of despair boils upon my skin.
Is there anything about this dwarf that looks like out of place, or is he just mad?
Well, he appears to know how to wield this axe. It looks like this dwarf does know how to fight. However, he doesn't appear capable of doing so because he's completely blind, and he's naked. Pretty much, he's wearing a loincloth. I don't want to go that far. He's wearing but he appears very old.
I'm gonna stealth over to the camp quietly, and I'm just gonna see if I get any reaction from him.
Well, you can roll a stealth on him. He doesn't seem like he's very perceptive.
Do I do that with advantage?
He doesn't notice you. He rolls perception with disadvantage, but he just doesn't even notice you.
Alright, so he was once a capable fighter, but is now no longer a capable
Yeah,
fighter.
that's what you gather, because you notice that he's very capable of wielding this axe. He's holding it like a capable fighter, but he doesn't seem like somebody who would be going into battle anytime soon.
Lynn says you mentioned your daughters. How did they betray you?
Oh, my castle. I lost my castle. When I told me daughters, which one of you three loveth me the most? And I said to my first daughter, Goneril, tell me how you love me. And Goneril toldeth me, oh, father, I love you. I love you like I love the stars in the sky, for you are my life. And I said, thou shalt have half my kingdom. And I said to my second daughter, Regan, how dost thou love me, daughter? And she said, oh, father, I love you. If I were to die, or if I were to save your life, I would save your life, for my life has nothing without you, father. And I said, aye, that's true. Yeah, thou shalt have the other second half of my kingdom. And I asked me, mine third daughter, how dost thou love me? And mine third daughter answerest me not. Oh, woundest my heart. She says, I have nothing to say. I have already proven my love to you, father. And I said to her, say nothing. Nothing comes of nothing, and I banished my daughter. Do you allow him to continue to ramble on, or do you stop him? He just keeps rambling.
I kind of interject, and I'm like, well, it seems to me like you may have made a mistake. If you gave away both half of your estates before you asked her whether or not she loves you, perhaps if she said that she loves you, it means that she doesn't care that you gave away both half of your estate. She still loves you.
I learned it too late. Oh, did I learn it too late? For mine first two daughters betrayed me, deposed me, sent me out.
What about your third daughter? Where's she at?
Ah! And he screams out, drops to his knees. Ah, nothing, nothing. And as he does this, you hear from a distance, there is a woman's voice. Laertes! Laertes! Ah, the devil woman cometh. Laertes!
He's over here.
I'm going to step into the shadows.
A few moments later,
It's getting good.
an old woman. She has a huge hat on, it's a big hat with a circular brim on the top, and there's like the little trestles coming down. She looks pretty elderly. She's a human woman. She's got piercing blue eyes, and she comes over. She says, "Laertes, there you are." And she sees the three of you, Drake's in the shadows, and she says, "Oh, he didn't scare you, did he? Oh, I'm so sorry." She goes over and she takes out she's holding a cloak and she puts it over this old dwarf. Ah, away with ye, devil woman! Oh, I'm sorry, strangers. He is not well. How did he end up here? I'm killing orcs. I'm hunting orcs. And
He seemed very distressed.
oh, and the older woman curtsies to you. Pardon me, strangers. My name is Clymestra. I am nursing this poor old gentleman to health. His mind is blasted. He does not know who he is or where he is. He did not startle you, did he? I'm so sorry. She curtsies.
You called him by the name he gave us, so he apparently knows who he is.
He thinks himself a king. Unfortunately, he has no family. He's been like this for many years. In fact, he's been at the asylum before my time. They say 100 years or more. He always finds a way to escape and wander about the countryside, scaring people. Yes, in Blastingdale, there's an asylum for the mentally unwell. And Laertes is our oldest patient.
Is it close?
Well, it's about 6 hours march from here. But I know where Laertes goes each time he escapes. He comes back to this cursed mountain hunting orcs. Ugh.
You're not afraid to walk around in the orc-infested forest?
No, I'm pretty old myself. I've been around these parts. I grew up here. I know how to avoid these blasted orcs.
I will step out of the shadows.
Oh my! She gets startled.
Don't be startled. I'm sorry, but we actually set up this camp in hopes of ambushing the next orc patrol that comes this way.
What are you doing here? These orcs, they infest this land.
Well, we've kind of come to do something about that.
You say so.
Gray could tell you more, but my concern for you now is that you're standing in the middle of an orc camp with a bunch of dead orcs.
Laertes, come with me. Come. Let us go back to the asylum. Here, take my hat. And she takes off her ridiculously large hat and just puts it on Laertes' head, and she's, come on. And she begins to lead him away, and he says, "Off me, you devil woman! I will join these people. I will hunt the orcs with them." And she's, "Laertes, you are in no condition. Please come with me." And do you let them go?
Why don't you have breakfast with us, and then you can go.
Well, I'd be delighted. And she and Laertes come with you to your camp. She is able to direct Laertes, although he just continuously calls her devil woman. As you guys sit down to enjoy some breakfast.
He doesn't seem hostile towards her otherwise, though, correct?
No, he's it seems like he just yells and curses at her. He doesn't actually seem to want to attack her.
Okay. I'm going to reposition that body that he had to pieces and do my best to cover it up. And if it looks like it's not a salvageable situation, I'll remove it from the scene.
Yeah, you think that he's hacked it up pretty badly. There's blood splattered everywhere.
Yeah, I'll do my best to kind of cover up the blood before joining the rest of the camp.
I was wondering, since you said that you know how to avoid the orcs in this area, I'm wondering if you could give us some information to help us out.
Well, if you're aware of the trails that the orcs take, you can just skip around it.
And you are aware of such trails?
I am, but I know not where you're going. You're not going to that cursed mountain, are you?
Well, we was thinking about heading in that direction.
That's where the orc fortress is.
The orc
Yes.
said that they were captured, that they have taken human captives.
Oh,
Breeding
We need to.
purposes.
so tragic. The orcs have been terrorizing the village for decades. They make camp up there. We barely have enough men to fight them off. But they do, once in a while, kill and capture. I'm sure if you're able to get rid of these orcs, I'm sure you can come to Blastingdale and they'll reward you greatly.
When you said up there, where was she pointing?
Oh, she is pointing at that Stone-Tooth Mountain you guys saw when you came up. You're clearly kind of talking about the same place.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how old are you, Laertes?
Oh, I'm 10,000 years old. And then Climestra looks at him and she shakes her head. I apologize. We don't truly know how old he is, but he is at the end of his life, and these are probably his last days. You see, they found him 200 years ago, before my time, before I was even born. He was at the asylum. They found him wandering mad. He had blinded himself in rage and despair. No one knows who he is. We think he may have been one of the original dwarves from there. And she points back at Stone-Tooth Mountain.
I was kind of hoping that would be the case.
But he can't help you now. 200 years of confusion and madness and hatred. He knows nothing. He thinks himself a king.
Have any personal possessions with him?
None that I know of. We found him as he is now, naked, confused, wandering the forest.
Are there any other dwarves in this area?
Not for a long time. The dwarves were driven from here centuries ago. I mean, there's travelers every now and then, but nobody from here.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Wow, madness isn't anything you can cure, is it, Lynn?
Lynn, you don't think that this is curable? What this poor dwarf has. Now, can you tell me what are you doing here? What are you looking for? In this cursed mountain?
Well, we're basically trying to find out what happened to the dwarves and see if we can find any records. And we're on a quest, and also if the orcs are trouble here, we would like to get rid of that trouble too.
Oh, it was centuries ago when the dwarves were here. They were driven out by orcs. Back then, there were legions of orcs that attacked a citadel in one fell swoop. They say they destroyed all the dwarfs. Perhaps Laertes was one of these dwarves, but we don't know anymore.
Well, I find his stories very interesting.
Mine story, I was the king of these dwarves. The king.
Sorry, this is out of character. What was that? That head dwarf of the kingdom that we were.
His name was Durgeddin.
And I'll say to him, I thought I heard that Durgeddin was the king of the dwarves of that mountain or of that stronghold.
Perhaps I am Durgeddin. You know I am Durgeddin. Look at me. Are you looking at me? I can't tell. But perhaps I am Durgeddin, yes.
I am.
So
yourself Laertes.
So is Laertes an alias that you go by for secretive purposes?
Durgeddin, Laertes, you call me whatever you want. I am the king. I am the ruler of all.
wonder if there's any.
And she said, Laertes, please, please. She, Climestra said, Laertes, please. I don't know who Laertes was beforehand, but I doubt he was any sort of king.
Well, it's possible. Maybe he is Durgeddin and is just disguising himself as a...
Yeah, I'll ask this Laertes. I'll actually call him Durgeddin. Durgeddin, perhaps you can recall something within the fortress that you would like back, and we could retrieve it for you.
What in the fortress? What fortress? Me castle, you say?
Yeah,
You mean me castle? Me grand castle with 5 moats. And a dragon overhead.
Is there something you'd like back?
I would like my daughter Cordelia back. You find me my daughter Cordelia. She's alive. She never died, I tells you. And Climestra butts in. She says, you see, Laertes keeps obsessing. He is focused on the story of himself being the king of some sort of castle. We know not what he speaks, and he keeps speaking of these daughters that he had. We have found no trace of a castle or anything that he speaks of, or any kingdom headed by a dwarf. We know that there was once a great ruler, a great dwarven clan that lived in the Stone-Tooth Mountain, but those names have been lost in time. Perhaps it's Durgeddin you speak of.
How long ago was that?
2, perhaps 3 centuries ago.
How old do dwarves typically live?
You know, just by common lore, dwarves can live a couple hundred years, 600 years, and Laertes looks like he's at the end of his life. So, yeah, it is possible Laertes did come from Stone-Tooth Mountain. But I doubt that he is this king you speak of. I mean, if he were a king, somebody would have known him. When he showed up, nobody knew who he was.
That's the thing. Maybe he is Durgeddin, but he's just disguising himself as a
It was
dwarf.
There was 2 centuries ago. Nobody even remembers.
It's also possible that the weight of his fallen kingdom was too much for him, and he mentally cracked under the burden.
Kingdoms, what do king? And Laertes, not Durgeddin. Durgeddin. I am Durgeddin. You're looking for Durgeddin. I am Durgeddin. I am King Durgeddin. Or I am a dog. Thou hast seen a farmer's dog bark at a beggar, and a creature run. Thou mightiest behold the greatest image of authority. A dog is obeyed as king.
Well, maybe he's just disguising himself as a crazy old man just to avoid getting any unwanted attention.
Maybe he's just a crazy old dwarf.
That's possible too.
Climestra says, I always knew him as Uncle Laertes, but as his age weaned on, his delusions got worse. He really does believe himself to be the king of some castle that was betrayed by his daughters.
Was there a hidden entrance to your castle that the orcs might not know about?
Hidden entrance to my castle? Of course there is. What castle would it be without a hidden entrance?
How would we
Well, if
recognize
you
the
tell
hidden
us-
entrance?
Go into my castle from under the moat. Under the moat. And Climestra just kind of shakes her head. Even when I believe even when he was not this bad, he was crazy. Thou should not have been old till thou hast been wise.
Where is this moat? Does it lie within the mountain or outside of it?
It lies within the dog's tail. Find the dog, find the tail, find the moat, find me castle, find me daughters.
Well, we'll get right on that.
And Clymestra just she shakes her head. All I wish is that Laertes spends his last few years in peace, that he won't go out like this on his wild hunts to try to kill orcs.
I think he carries his peace or lack thereof inside him. It doesn't matter where he is.
Laertes looks, says, "Let me go with you. Let me kill orcs with you." Clymestra says, "Absolutely not. You're going to come back to the asylum with me." Laertes screams out, "Away, devil woman!" He slaps her hand away. "Away! I will die how I determine it. I will go with them." He's asking to join you.
Interesting offer. There's
I don't
pros,
want-
there's
Mike
cons, there's everything else thing.
What exactly are the
At the end of
pros?
his life, and he just wants to go out as a warrior. I'm okay with him joining us as long as he thinks he can keep up.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. I think
Oh, please, good sir, don't indulge him in this. To see him chopped up by these orcs, I've taken care of him for 40 years. He's my charge. He's my patient. Please don't indulge him.
He was obviously a warrior. He'd probably rather die a warrior's death than in his dotage and asylum.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he'd probably rather die in honor in a battle with the orcs. He'd rather get chopped up by orcs than to sit and rot in the island.
Is the party serious about taking Laertes with them?
It's, we do have a healer with us, so Lynn can probably keep him alive, right, Lynn?
No. I can't keep him alive, but if he comes with us, he probably will die. He has no armor. He can't see.
I can cast mage armor.
I have me axe. And you see his axe is kind of dull.
We need to get to sharpening that axe if you're going to come with us, and I'll pull
Actually,
out.
we could take some of the orc's armor and put him in armor. That would be no problem.
Yeah, and I'll take his axe and sharpen it with my whetstone. Get it. Try to put an edge back on it.
I don't believe we have the right to take him from the people who are caring for him.
True.
I think he has the right
would
to
probably
decide
rather
for
die.
himself what he wants to do.
Oh, please, Laertes, he cannot make a decision for himself, please. Don't indulge him in this. Laertes, come back with me to my asylum, please. Away, devil woman! I shall die in a blaze of glory. Like a true dwarf. Like a dwarven king.
Yeah, I'm thinking about the pros and cons of this, and if he really is this king, what better way for him to go out than reclaiming his castle? Right?
He's probably going to fall into the moat and drown.
Yeah, but think about it. This is going down in the history books quite literally.
Maybe he was purposely. I think he was purposely it's possible he was purposely disguising himself as a crazy old dwarf, just so that people.
It's up to you guys if you want to take him. I just finished a character sheet for him, so he's ready to go.
I'm pretty sure he is in fact a crazy old man, but
Yeah,
He's pretty far away from the silent.
So you don't believe that he's Durgeddin?
I think it's possible.
He says he is. I'm Durgeddin. I'm Durgeddin. Don't you know? I'm what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would be hoping that some of what we encounter might seem familiar to him and would maybe bring a little bit of his common sense back. Like maybe get a little bit of oh, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like almost like a nostalgia, right? Like where, like people in his mental state can sometimes recall things when they're presented with the reality or the physicality of what it is they are, what they are being faced with.
So are you volunteering to be his guardian?
I think he should be I think he should be Gregory's guardian. I think he should just stick by Gregory and keep.
Yeah. Just
God.
don't, whatever you do, don't hit Gregory, okay? Can you promise us that?
If ye betray me, I shall kill ye all. I'm strong.
He's an ally. He is an ally. Please do not kill him. And he's a good one. He's a mage, so he's a little squishy.
Ye should.
He has to have enhanced senses because he's 6 miles from the asylum and he made it out here by himself, and according to the lady that's in the first time that he's ever done it, so he has to have some kind of enhanced hearing or feeling or something else. He walked right up to the orcs camp and knew orcs were there, so
Oh, he's done this many times. I'm telling you, he's not well.
well, you also are telling us that he's going to be dead pretty soon anyway.
But to die like this. Oh,
In battle, he's a warrior.
Well, it's probably better that
he's not right in the head. He's not truly fighting. He is confused.
Well, I think he would rather die trying to take back the fortress or what he calls his castle than to die rotting in an asylum. No offense to you, lady.
No, I agree with this. I mean, I maybe would have put it a little bit more gently myself, but I am for letting this man decide what he wants to do.
All right, so
I am willing to treat him as a fully competent and sane individual.
Me too. And who knows, he might not be as insane as he makes himself out to be. He's probably just acting it out just to make everybody think that he's just a crazy lunatic. And think about it, the orcs aren't going to find a crazy old dwarf as harmful as...
all right. So with a lot of objections, you guys turn Climestra away. And send her off, and you keep Laertes with you. And with a lot of protest and objection, you guys send her off.
Don't worry, we'll try to bring him back alive. I promise you, I'll do everything in my power to do that. And I will hand King Laertes my my healing potion that Gray bought for me, and tell him that this is a healing potion and it is to be used only in cases of emergency when you are not feeling well.
As you hand it to him, he immediately starts drinking it. It's emergency. He immediately starts drinking it. So you manage to stop him from just chugging it, and he says, "It is emergency. Me daughter's betrayed me."
Oh, I mean, like if you're injured. Like physically injured. It doesn't help with the daughter thing.
I fear no injury. I am immortal and invincible.
Yeah. Keep that healing potion just in case, okay?
You managed to. Yeah.
My gift to you, Your Highness.
You managed to stuff the healing potion into, like, I guess, the side of his loincloth and is kind of hanging out. As you
We are going
when
to
you
let-
try to give Laertes clothes, like there are some clothes like hanging around from that party, that caravan that got raided. Every time you dress him, within a couple of minutes, he just undresses. He's back in his loincloth.
Accept armor? Like, doesn't seem like he's willing to accept wearing any kind of armor.
He rejects it as you. He just takes it off later. As you whenever you put something on him, he just takes it off.
Greg, I think you're gonna have to cast mage armor on him. I think that's the only way he's going to
Yeah, I think I should do that just so that at least he has a little bit of protection on him.
So with Laertes now among you, you guys have set up an ambush for the orc camp. How long are you going to wait?
Probably till late morning, and then around noontime, I'm guessing we should probably head out and see if we can't camp again just short of where the mountain is.
It gets to noontime and nothing. No other patrol of orcs have come.
Even with the fire still going and everything
Yeah,
else.
no other orcs come at this point.
All right, well, let's head out. Let's stay off their trails, though.
All right, you guys are heading, I guess, towards the Stone Tooth Mountain, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
You guys are close. You guys think that, if you were to march for the rest of the day, you can make it there by nightfall.
Yeah, Gray, I think you're probably best to lead. I will stay near the king and Greg. It's going to be the king, I, and Greg.
Yeah, and just Laertes continuously is obsessing as you're walking about his 3 daughters and yelling and speaking obscenities. Half of what he's saying doesn't make any sense. And by nightfall, you guys uneventfully make it to the foot of the Stone Tooth Mountain.
Yeah, during our walk, I'm going to try to steer him away from his daughters and into telling me about the grand things he has accomplished in his life. What is he most proud of accomplishing?
Oh, I conquered the fire giants of Bluzda. With one fell swoop of me battle axe, I felled the Jarl.
And I'm going to keep him talking just about anything, any kind of stories he has. I'm going to play into it. I am going to basically, I'm this dude's best friend.
You notice that the stories he tells are very fantastical. He talks about slaying dragons. He talks about conquering vast amounts of land. He mentions lands that you don't think exist. You don't know what he's talking about. He talks about areas and lands in the Forgotten that you don't even think are in the Forgotten Realms. He just gives names of places you never heard of.
Yeah, and when he gets to those, I'll inquire, like, oh, I've never heard of where that is. Where is that?
And he just uses another reference point that you've never heard of. Oh, Bluesville. Oh, it is just 5 leagues from the great spire mountain of Eagle's Talon. And you've never heard of that either.
Like, I'll try and direct it towards, like, is this a planar place? Like, I'll quiz him about, like, is it on this continent? The same continent that your stronghold is? Is it on a different continent?
He seems to believe that his castle is in some land you've never really heard of, and he thinks he's in this land. The land of Gundrum.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking, and then he's finishing up his story, and then when I cut off the Hydra's head, 3 more grew, so I said, I will cut off 3 more. I will cut off every head.
Yeah, this whole time, I'm just kind of quizzing him, trying to make sense of what he's talking about.
You find it very difficult. It's hard to even orient him. It seems like every time you talk about him, he just kind of gently goes back to his 3 daughters that betrayed him. And you
Well-
guys have now made it to the foot of this really tall mountain. There is a path that seems to be well traveled, and you can see lots of orc footprints. The path winds up the edge of a steep cliff.
We should probably avoid that path.
Unfortunately, you don't see any other paths or footprints of orcs. You just see that this path that winds up the mountain.
I think we're planning on making camp again for the night, correct?
Is it not? It's night again.
Yeah, it is night again.
Yeah, as well. Unless King Durgeddin knows about if there's a secret entrance into the mountain other than the main entrance.
He tells you some nonsense about a dog's tail. That's the secret entrance into his castle, he says.
Dog's tail.
Yeah, just quizzing him. What does it look like?
You don't know a tail of a dog. It wags back and forth.
So it's an actual dog,
A dog.
like a living, breathing dog.
A great hound, yes. My great hound.
How big is this great hound?
Great hound is 2 fathoms great big. Bigger than thee, bigger than me.
2 fathoms. How big is 2 fathoms?
He's using weird measurement, but 2 fathoms is usually a measurement they use for seafaring people, and it is it is really, really big. It's like 60 feet down. It's a measurement of how deep water is.
Does it appear? Does there be any kind of geography that lines up with what he's saying?
You don't think so?
Wonder if it's a riddle. Like maybe it's behind the main entrance, like in the back of the mountain.
All right, so you guys find a safe place to camp for the evening. We'll just fast forward that. If you have an uneventful evening, and now it's dawn, and before you is this big mountain. And as far as you know, the path that you were following goes up the mountain. On either side of the path is forest at the base of the mountain.
I'll describe the mountain face to him and kind of see if I can maybe prompt him into giving us better direction as to where to go.
You try to talk to him. He keeps going on about this nonsense about a dog's tail.
After about 3 minutes, Lynn starts up the mountain.
Yeah, okay. Let's just go.
We'll keep an eye out for any canine creatures that are 2 fathoms.
They should be easy to spot.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too hard to spot.
Yeah, what he was describing is doesn't make that much sense. But you guys continue along the path, and the path climbs up a steep switchback toward a bare shoulder of rock. The hillside rises steeply on your right, and on your left drops down into an imperceptibly deep chasm the higher up you go. So this is really on the edge of the mountain. There's debris and rubbish that lie scattered over 100 yards or so. There's discarded water skins, there's bits of charred bones, obvious evidence that the orcs have been here. There's also some splintered casks and kegs. And then up ahead, the path opens into a wide ledge and then doubles up sharply along the mountainside. Hold
Can
on.
we tell how long since the orcs had been there?
Not very long. You can tell there's like freshly chewed meat on the ground. Give me a second. I am prepared.
Were they moving?
You see both moving up the hill, up the path, and down the path. This is a well-traversed path, and you can see these are full of orc footprints.
Oh, yeah. I'm staying in the back towards the king and Greg.
So is this path? Is it like right on the side of the mountain, or is there
Right along the side,
area to the
very steeply?
Is there areas? Is there? Can we get off the path? I guess is what I'm getting at.
Not really. It's a narrow, steep path that looks kind of dangerous if you were to kind of fall off of it.
Describing the scene to the king, can he tell us how much further it would be before we entered his great hall? Like, we would enter his castle?
You're not in my castle already. I thought you was.
We're climbing the side of a mountain right now.
Do we by chance see any like natural valleys or something of that nature that look like a dog's tail?
Nothing that you kind of conclude looks like a dog's tail. So now you are up all the way up on the side of this this mountain, and ahead of you you see a clearing. You hear some gruff orc voices just ahead.
And ahead is going up, is that right?
Yes, going north.
So we want to kind of line ourselves up here as marching. Because right now we have Greg out front.
No, we don't want to go out front.
I think Lynn is out front because she's trying to stay farther away from the king and the.
I'll go up with Lynn.
Just keep an eye out for any avalanche traps or anything like that. In fact, I'll try to do my best to keep a lookout for that from back here. Warn of any potential rock slides.
The closer you get, you can hear the bestial grunt of the orc. There's two voices that are both orc directly to the north. You can't see them, but you can clearly hear them.
What are they saying?
One orc says to the other, one orc is saying to the other, and you translate it as the following.
Okay. Have you eaten human? Tastes bad. Why you want human meat? Why Ufo or whatever his name is want human meat?
By all means, feel free to take in as much of this conversation as you want.
So as the conversation continues, you see Laertes starts getting, because Laertes hears it as well. It seems like he has a keen hearing. Oh, battle is on us! Battle is on us! And he starts running forward.
I just put
Difficult.
my arm and tell him to hold back for a minute.
You need a strength contest because he is charging forward.
Do I by any chance have any kind of advantage because I can see and he can't?
Not for a strength one.
Okay.
So you roll against his strength.
Oh, that should have probably been in the tower.
He breaks your grip and charges forward. Gray, as you are sitting there listening to the orcs, you see Laertes running, running down towards the orc voices. He's ready for battle. Battle is upon us!
Shoot, man! If we can see orcs, fire at something.
Okay,
I don't see any orcs yet.
Yeah, I don't see any orcs.
Laertes continues to run. Now he's on you, Lynn.
No, Lynn's, if he's coming this way, Lynn's going to.
Now you see if you get over here, now you guys see the orcs, and Laertes just runs up and attacks the orcs. We're gonna roll initiative.
Where are you at, Greg? Because I would have figured you would have been towards the front.
Well, I was, and he ran on by me. I am close to the front, actually. I could see the orcs.
Were you trying to keep up with them at all, or?
I was, yeah.
Oh, okay, because we're going into combat, so I'm just kind of interested to see where everybody is.
Yeah, I was following behind Lynn, and
Of course.
So you see these two orcs that were previously conversing, and Laertes just runs right into the mix without even giving you guys a chance to stealthily make an attack. And Laertes runs up, screaming his lungs out, I shall slay thee! Initiative begins. They are not surprised because Laertes is running up, screaming like a banshee.
Yeah, downside.
But Greg, you are top of initiative.
All right. Let's see.
good roll, Greg.
Way back there.
What we have here. All right. So I guess what I'm gonna do.
By the way, the king should have mage armor on him. If you haven't already marked that, Greg.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast. Here's what I'll do. Like, what I'll do is I'll target just for mage armor, and then that, and then now let's see. I don't know if I can get a clear line of sight of this, the one that's labeled Thark. I don't know if I can get a good line of sight to cast Firebolt. Actually, no. What I'm gonna do, I'll stay in the back. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna target this guy, Thark.
Thark and work.
See if Firebolt. Let's see. Come on, don't tell me I can't. Use the spell thing. Just trying to see the range of Firebolt.
It's like 90 feet or something like that. You
Okay,
should be
so,
plenty.
oh,
you should be-
120 feet. Okay.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty
All right,
far.
so I'll cast it on the guy that I'm targeting. All right, so I'm going to cast Firebolt on the guy I'm currently targeting. Combat tracker. Okay, I'm targeting Thark. That's what he's labeled as. I'm targeting him. I don't know what the yellow crosshairs are all about. Token, but
That's the target.
okay, so I'm gonna target him with a Firebolt.
Go ahead and roll it.
All right.
Oh, unfortunately, it misses.
All right, so I guess I'll end my turn.
And Gray, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to target Wark. Right, I can see all of them, I think. Yeah. Wark. I'm also going to cast Hunter's Mark. and take a shot at him.
Ooh, you also miss.
Boy, we're bad at starting up battles, that's for sure.
Yeah, both of our battles tonight have started up.
Yeah, and Laertes kind of blew up your spot. Okay. What is the I'm sorry, Laertes has mage armor. Can you tell me what's the AC bonus on the mage armor?
13, it's 13 plus his dexterity modifier.
Okay, I got it. I will change his AC. There we go.
Yeah, if you're going to change his AC directly, just go ahead and remove the AC 3 condition from him.
Oh, he has an AC 3?
Yeah, so he
spell.
he actually cast the buff on him. So,
Oh, I see. Never mind. Then I'm gonna go back and do what I was doing before. There we go. All right, Gray. Anything else on your turn?
I passed. Oh, I thought it did.
Then it's Drake's turn.
yeah, I'm running up here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, I'll stand here.
Roll me a perception as you get over there.
Oh, okay.
You noticed a couple of arrow slits over here and over there,
Oh,
and you notice some figures moving behind the arrow slits.
yeah. Arrows, guys. We're gonna want to break line of sight of those, and I'll just kind of point it out to everybody.
You still got movement left?
I should. Yeah.
Well, you're
5,
engaged
10,
though.
15, 20,
But you moved up and you got engaged, so you can move around him.
30. Yeah, I'll move around him over to this side to make that angle as awkward as possible. And then I'll go ahead and slash.
Oh, your second attack on Wark misses.
Yeah, and that is my turn.
Okay, now Wark is up. As a bonus action, Wark takes out his warhorn and blows it. An echoing sound comes from the warhorn, and you can hear it just blast through. It blasts through this entire cave complex, and from the other side of those arrow slits, you hear orcs mobilizing. Rah! Orc screams out, ready to attack. Orc connects.
That's a 20. Yeah, I can't do anything about that. I will hellish rebuke him though.
Okay. He hits you for 5 damage, so do the hellish rebuke.
That's going to be his save. So he's going to take half damage. I could have done better with my damage.
Boom.
That was crap damage.
A big burst of fire. That wasn't a very good roll for the damage.
1 and 7, yeah.
The big
9.
burst of fire singes his hair.
Yeah, and go ahead and do your damage to me.
I think I already did. Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah, you did 5 points of damage apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, you took away my temporary hit point buffer. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Okay, right after Wark gives that blows his horn, you realize that behind the arrow slit, the bowmen are mobilizing. Oh, how do I open this arrow slit? There we go.
see it.
The orc, the orc wielding a bow behind the arrow slits. Let's see what he can see. He can't see you, Drake, but he can see Lynn and Laertes. He's going to launch an arrow at Lynn. He fires his longbow, but that misses.
Nice.
Now it's Thark's turn. Thark, seeing that you've engaged his buddy Wark, comes up and engages you. But he misses.
Nice.
Laertes is up. Ah! Laertes screams. He takes it.
Laertes,
He wields his.
revenge.
He wields his battle axe in a
Saying, not a dwarf, not an orc, not an orc.
in a relentless fury. He kind of motes around, feels around, and then he finally gets up to Wark. Laertes makes 2 attacks on Wark,
Nice.
but they both at disadvantage because Laertes is blind.
Not nice.
I could help with that. I could throw darkness down, and then it would be a straight throw for him.
Well, he hits anyway. With one of his with his first attack, he hits anyway, and his second attack, he hits with both attacks.
Oh my god!
It's like Meepo. It's like the return of Meepo here.
Yeah.
Even with disadvantage.
With his first
Oh,
attack, he
yeah.
kills Wark, but Laertes is not able to gauge enough to run over and throw a second attack at Thark. He just keeps chopping at Wark, even after Wark is dead.
I will tell Laertes, he's dead. Move on.
When Laertes is in this frenzy, he can't even hear you. He just keeps chopping. It's Lynn's turn.
Nice.
So Lynn will get up to the other orc. Target. Attack.
That's a hit.
Good hit.
Oh, that's a good hit on the other orc. Anything else on your turn?
Nope, that is it.
All right, we top of initiative. We're back to Gregory.
Yeah, I already called out the arrow slits, so
Let's see. All right. I see Thark. He's in my line of sight. I'm gonna try attacking him with another firebolt.
That one gets him. That one gets him.
It only does 2 damage, but it's enough to do something.
Oh, you burned him pretty badly with that 2 damage.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Another orc comes out of the arrow slit. Hold on. They have these things on arrow slit that I have to open. It's obnoxious. This orc. He's gonna see Laertes.
probably the only one he can see right now.
And he's gonna get advantage attacking Laertes, who's blind. Ooh, that hits Laertes. Whack. A good hit onto Laertes. And then once he attacks Laertes, he moves out of vision range from the arrow slit. Gray, you're up.
Okay. So Thark is the only one that I can see right now. I believe.
Yeah, but you do notice that an arrow came out of one of the slits and hit Laertes. And there's an arrow like stuck in one of Laertes' legs. Laertes doesn't even seem to notice. He's in this frenzy, chopping down orcs.
Well, I'm going to move the hunter's mark over to Thark. Which is right there. And then target him. And hopefully this time I can do a little bit better.
That's a hit on Thark.
Okay.
That probably the end of Thark. Roll your damage. Thark is dead. You put him down.
Nice. Okay. Thark is dead. I'm going to move up a little bit. So I can help out my guys if they need it, and then pass my turn. Okay.
So-
I will shout out, King, the 2 orcs are already dead. Unless you can do something about the orcs and the arrow slits, you might want to try to take some kind of cover.
You can roll a persuasion on Laertes, who is in a blood frenzy, chopping down a dead orc.
Persuasion.
Do something about the orcs and the arrow slits. I will.
Lynn says, they're up here. Laertes up here. Come this way.
Roll a persuasion on Laertes, because he hears those orcs. Okay. Drake, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to get up next to the arrow slit, and as soon as I see that bowman kind of like poke his bow and arrow into the arrow slit, I'm just going to kind of turn in front of the arrow slit, let off an eldritch blast, and then promptly duck back into cover.
If you do, if you try to attack the orc bowman from this side of the arrow slit, the orc is gonna get 3/4 cover.
I don't know. Is there another way? Like, does it appear that there's an immediate way into the arrow slit area?
Not from what you can see. You get to there, and you can see to the south of you. How do I reveal that area that's blacked out?
Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of holding an eldritch blast, when he points that bow and arrow out, I'm just going to try and grab it and take it from him.
Okay. So what kind of action is that? I guess it's a grapple? I would say it's a grapple. What I'm going to say is that you're going to ready an action to grapple, I guess. When he points, I guess when he tries to point his arrow, you're going to try to reach your hand in there and grab his bow and arrow?
Yeah, I mean, the intent here is that even if I don't get the arrow, that I deflect it in some way. So I'm just basically trying to impede his ability to fire on allies more than anything else.
Okay, I'll go for that. So, I guess that's your turn, correct? Are you doing anything else?
My held action, yeah.
So you can see directly to the south of you, the cavern opens up to more stairs going down. So you don't have any way, any idea of how to get behind those arrow slits at this point from where you're standing. Okay. This orc comes out this arrow slit.
Next to me?
Not that arrow slit, the other one. Let me see. He can't see Gray, he can see Laertes. He fires an arrow and then he retreats to out of sight range. Okay, control. Oof. Lands an arrow right onto Laertes. Ouch. 9 points of damage on Laertes, and then he retreats out of vision. The other orc. Okay, we're gonna do a strength contest. You versus the orc.
All right.
Because when you go in and you grab his bow, he's gonna try to knock it out of your. He's gonna try to knock it out of your grasp. So let me hold on. Let me get the orc's abilities.
Do you want this in the dice tower? Or do you want this rolled open?
You can roll it open. As a matter of fact, I'll roll it open too. He's got +2 to strength.
Not terrible. Oh, he just barely beats me.
He just barely beats you. Swipes the arrow out of your grip, and he is.
Yeah, I'm trying to basically just like impose disadvantage or something on his arrow attacks.
Well, he's not gonna be able to fire at you.
Okay.
I think he's only person he can hit is Laertes from here.
Yeah. That's why I was trying to create a problem for him. It didn't work out.
Okay. Oof. That's another arrow in Laertes. Ooh, Laertes is taking a lot of damage. It's Laertes' turn. And this after he fires those arrows, he moves out a visual range from the arrow slits. Laertes. Hold on. Lynn, you've rolled a persuasion on Laertes, telling him to go north. I'm going to roll a d20. If it is below 10, Laertes is going to go towards the cliff. Ready?
Wait, that's a cliff?
Yeah.
That's not a rock wall?
Laertes looks like he's kind of drifting towards the cliff.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Lynn.
The orcs are here, you say? And he's just running there. Lynn, you're up.
You're right.
He seems to be almost running off the cliff.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a cliff. I thought that was a rock wall.
Well, there's a rock wall on the right. I rolled a d20 to see which side he was going to go to.
Lynn will go here and try to pull him over to the right.
You have
This
to
way.
strength contest Laertes. Hold on a second. Laertes, let me see. Got a +2 to his strength. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was Laertes rolled a 5. So you got him. You grapple Laertes and prevent them from running off the cliff. Back.
Can I still do anything?
That's got to be your action if you're going to run up and grab him.
Still have some.
Yeah, you can do a bonus action if you have one.
No, mostly I was wondering if I could still move.
You have No, you got him. You got this. You got this crazy naked dwarf grappled.
So I can't drag him over?
Nah, no, not on this. Maybe next turn, if you want to try to drag him, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Greg.
All right, so let's see. Seeing that there's orcs firing arrows from there, I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself. I'm gonna target myself and then cast Mage Armor. That's my main action. And then my bonus action, I guess I'll just actually no, can't really do anything else. I'm just gonna move. Walk over to here and then end my turn.
Could I make a recommendation? Don't stand open in front of an arrow slit.
Right, so I'll just back up here. If it's okay to retcon that part.
If you can see the arrow slit, the arrow slit can see you.
Alright, and I'll just back up here. Hey.
Yeah, from that position, the arrow slits can't see you.
Alright, cool. Alright then.
All right, it is one of the orcs' turn. The orc apparently doesn't see anybody, moves to one of the arrow slits, and appears that you see he's readying his action. I think, Drake, you can see it, that there is a bow ready in action in the southern arrow slit.
Okay.
Gray, it's your turn.
He's getting ready to fire.
So if I move up 5 feet, can he still see me? The one that's readied, can he see me from there?
You don't know because you can't see the arrow slit, but probably the minute you can see the arrow slit, the arrow's going to come right at you. It's a readied action.
Well, I am going to take a chance and move up 1 or 5 feet, I should say.
The arrow. Can you see the arrow? Yeah, you can see
I
it.
can't see, not the southern. I mean, I see the one up there by Drake. Is that the one that you're talking about, or is it there's another one down below that one? I can't see that one.
There's another one down below there.
You can
I
see
can't
it.
that one.
You can see it. It's just the way the screen is just the way that Fantasy Grounds has the thing. You can see the arrow slit. You can actually see the arrow coming right at you as you walk right out of the cover.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the way Fantasy Grounds draws the lighting on this thing that you think you. But if you can see the arrow and you can see the orc wielding it.
Okay.
So that's orc number 3. Fires an arrow at you. Oh, I think that's gonna hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Lands a good arrow right into your side. But now but it's still your turn.
Right. So I'm going to.
Now, just to let you know, if you're trying to fire back at the orc through the arrow slit, you may do so, but he's gonna have 3/4 cover.
Right. So I'm going to move my. What is that? Which orc is that? I want to move my hunter's mark to him.
Orc number 3.
Okay.
So when you fire your attack, put a -5 on it, or puts a superior cover.
All right. So it's orc number 3. Where are you at, orc number 3? Oh, shoot. I can't read it. Hang on a second, guys. Don't have my, there we go. Okay, so let's try that again. I see orc number 1, orc number 2. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yeah, you got it. You got him. You got him targeted. But you gotta attack at -5.
Okay.
Which I mean, for a ranger, it's not that bad, but it's great disadvantage in trying to get him.
Right.
You just roll damage without rolling the attack.
Whoops. Let me just go ahead and do that now, or do you need to take the damage off, or?
Roll the attack first.
Yeah.
You-
Nice.
Now, is that with a -5? What's your normal
didn't
attack
take that.
bonus? What's your normal attack bonus?
+5.
Your normal attack bonus is +5.
That's the little number right beside the hand, right?
Well, I see a +7 on your attack because you get a +2 to your with your archery style bonus. So you're gonna hit up. You're gonna hit him even with a -5.
Yeah, sorry.
It doesn't
Now you
matter.
roll it-
You're gonna hit him even with a -5. So I will keep that damage that you did on him earlier. You manage.
okay.
You manage to shoot an arrow through the arrow slit right into that orc,
Right, and
and you
so
hear a howl of pain.
I'm also going to send a swarm of angry bees at the same orc.
Your swarm of beasts floods through that little arrow slit, and the orc screams out, being stung over and over again.
Okay. And I will move back out of sight. And end my turn. Rather satisfied.
All right. I just shout out, form up behind me. We're gonna go down these stairs. And then I'm going to cast a spell. Would you like to guess what spell I'm going to cast?
You're gonna try to cast darkness inside the orcs.
I cast darkness on top of myself.
Oh, on yourself. Okay.
Yeah, on my weapon. And so that does go around corners. So if there's any way for the darkness to reach them, it reaches them as well. And then I'm gonna make my way in front of the first arrow slit and see what I can see through that arrow slit.
You don't see. You see behind the arrow slit. You see a narrow tunnel, but you don't actually see the orc. It seems like he moved out of the way once he fired the arrow.
How big is this arrow slit?
The arrow slit itself is like maybe 2 feet wide.
Not enough for like a human to squeeze through.
It narrows up, so it's only good for an arrow to come out of.
Okay. And then I'm gonna move down and between the two arrow slits, just so that I'm covering both the arrow slits in darkness.
Okay. So I'll put the darkness spell unfortunately covers up the tokens themselves.
Yeah. So I think right there is between the two arrow slits.
Yeah.
All right, I got him cover. I got cover. So you just need to find your way.
Okay, give me a second.
That'll be my turn.
So, as the magical darkness covers the area, from where you see an orc run right past the arrow slit you're looking at. The orcs seem to be going south.
Okay.
The orcs start mobilizing.
Yeah, I think they're mobilizing towards us, guys.
Okay.
Have they
Orc.
given up on the arrow slit position? Can I tell?
They only move out of your vision.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I'm staying right here in front of these two arrow slits and keeping them under total darkness.
Laertes looks crazed. Lynn, I need you to roll another persuasion. He looks like he wants to attack you. He looks in a frenzy.
Persuasion, okay.
Or however you want to handle it. I mean, if you roll a shove, you can push him off the cliff.
I'm getting ready to.
Can she give herself guidance on this roll?
Not initiative. All right, you're able to talk Laertes down to the point where he's not attacking you, but he's still trying to like wriggle out of your grip. He's gonna do another strength contest with you. Hold on. Roll me a strength against Laertes.
That's okay. She lets him go.
Ah!
Hopefully he's going in the right direction.
Laertes. No. Ah! Your turn.
All right, well, so much for Laertes.
She will actually go this way just to see what happened.
Yeah.
Like falling all the way.
Well, you look down and you can see the landscape and the bottom of the cliff just ends in craggy rocks. And as you look down, you don't see Laertes at all. You don't see his body on the rocks. You don't see anything. You just see rocks.
Well, I hope that means you were immortal.
Wait, did he just run off the cliff?
He ran off the cliff.
Yeah, but where did he go?
Mysteriously, he is gone.
Oh, that's interesting.
The battle continues. So, Lynn, to the south of you, Drake has cast a darkness spell, so you see a big sphere of magical darkness.
Yeah, I'm keeping the arrow slits under cover so that they can't shoot us. Or, I guess they could try to lob arrows at, but they don't know where we're at, so...
So, even with doing that, do I still have time to do an action?
You have not taken your action this turn, so go ahead.
Okay, in that case, I am going to cast Shield of Faith on myself.
All right.
I wanted to know what that old man's story was.
Well, I mean, by this time you've gotten his story. It's a lot of rambling about his daughters and stuff, and that how he used to be a king. Every time you say Durgeddin, he says, "I'm Durgeddin." So he maybe that was Durgeddin. I guess I don't know. You don't know right now.
I'm happy for him. He died in honorable battle, and he helped us out a lot.
He
For the
ran
little time
off
he was
a
there.
cliff face.
Uh, during a battle, anyway.
During a battle.
Gregory, so it's your turn. You have a big sphere of darkness where Drake is. Sphere of magical darkness. So you can't really see through that.
Yeah.
All right, then.
I am just here to provide cover from the arrow slits so that you guys can figure out what you want to do.
You can walk in. You can certainly walk into the darkness, but you just can't see. If you walk into the darkness, I'm going to call it difficult terrain because you're kind of feeling around because you don't know where you're going.
No
All
hat
right,
movement.
I probably just noticed Laertes run over the cliff, right?
You did. Unfortunately, it appears that Laertes was way out of his mind, went the opposite direction of where he was directed to go, and ran off the cliff, despite Lynn trying to hold him.
Okay.
So you go to the edge of the cliff and you look down. No body. You can see the bottom. This is like 300 feet. You're like 200 to 300 feet up. You can see the bottom of the cliff. It ends in craggy rocks. You do not see a dead dwarf down there.
Interesting. So it's about 300 feet. So I don't think, like, even if I jump down there and cast Featherfall, that would.
Well,
Are you going to get back up, though, short of climbing?
well, yeah, you can do that. How long does Featherfall last? What's
It
it?
hits the ground.
Is there a duration on it?
I believe it's until he hits the ground.
Oh yeah, you can certainly do that, but you don't see Laertes anywhere.
Yeah, the
We don't
question
have-
is, how long of a fall would it be, and do we have enough rope that we could get him back up?
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
So
The
choose
Uh,
duration is 1 minute,
falling creatures,
by the
right,
way.
percent slows to 60 feet per round.
How fast are you falling? 1 minute. It depends on how fast you're falling. If you're like very gently floating down, you may drift 1 minute, only go down 10 or 20 feet, and then the duration ends and you plummet to your death.
Lynn just pulled it out. It's 60 feet per round.
Yeah, you think you'll plummet to your death if you tried that.
600 feet?
You said 60 feet per round, right?
Yeah, lasts for a minute, so it's 600 feet.
Okay, you think you can land on the bottom of it if you tried that?
Deep
I
is
don't
it?
think he can
Like,
get back.
how
We
much,
don't have
how
enough
much
rope
rope
to get him
would
back
we
up.
need to get him back up?
Yeah. I'm not
300 feet.
Yeah, about 300 feet of rope, and
Yeah, I don't think we have that much rope.
I don't think we have time to tie rope
Okay, I
together.
would be able to do it, but yeah, if I don't have a way to get back up.
you are still in the middle of battle.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll figure that out after we finish the battle.
I think he's going.
Let's see. Now I don't see the arrow slits at all, so trying to attack.
Right now, you're not going to be able to attack because the arrow slits are covered up, so you don't have a target.
Alright, well, I guess all I can do is end my turn and let somebody else do something.
Yeah, I did that intentionally to keep them from firing arrows at us continuously.
Mm-hmm.
You hear some commotion behind the arrow slits. But Drake, you don't actually see anything because they're out of your line of sight. But you hear some moving around and some commotion.
Does it sound like they're readying something?
You're not sure if they're readying something, but you think they're moving around, certainly. Hold on, let me move you for a second so I can open this stupid arrow slit. And you notice that there's a third arrow slit to your south.
Okay, I'm going to try and cover all three of them in darkness if I can. So I'm staying up against that.
Yeah, unfortunately, the problem is I can't see, so hold on.
Oh, yeah, that's okay. I mean, if you want to just move the darkness off the map for the moment.
I think you can cover all three in darkness. If you stand right in the middle arrow slit, right there, all three are covered in darkness. There we go.
Oh, okay, yeah, there we go.
Okay, well, it's something like that. Something like that.
I think technically, yeah, and then it's up centered on me.
But this is what you'll probably be doing your next turn, correct? Because it's Gray's turn now.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to. Oops. Can I move up right behind Drake?
If you do, you're moving into a sphere of darkness that you can't see through.
I know.
So yes, you can move into it. It's going to be difficult terrain once you get into it because you can't see anything. So you see Gray just kind of like Drake. You see Gray walk into your darkness, and he just got his hands out trying to feel around. Doesn't know where he's going.
Keep below the arrow slit.
I'm gonna. What I'm going to do is ready an action. I'm going to ready a sword strike. If anything gets close to us that I don't recognize.
Since you're unable to see, that you wouldn't be able to.
I'm going to warn my fellow party mates that they need to let me know if they're coming close to me. And that's really all I can do, I guess.
Okay, so you feel up to the middle arrow slit. Hold on, let me remove the darkness for a second so you can see. So you mosey on up to the middle arrow slit, and you have a readied action. But unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see anything to let the readied action go off. You may be able to hear something if something goes on.
That's what I'm thinking. If someone gets close enough,
Yeah, my
for
plan.
a melee attack.
My plan is that we advance out of this situation past the arrow slits. That's my long-term plan, but I need to keep the arrow slits in darkness until you guys can get past me.
Drake, you're up, and you do take that movement that where your darkness covers all 3 arrow slits.
Yep. And I just, again, I'm keeping low to the ground to stay out of direct line of sight of the arrow slit, and just kind of encouraging people forward through the darkness. It looks good. Doesn't look like there's anything up ahead yet.
You know, this horrible thing, the token for your darkness is also restricted by wall movement.
I know.
What the? This wasn't true before. This is all ever since the new update. It's driving me crazy. I'm gonna just remove it for now. We know where your darkness is.
Yeah, it's basically what, 20?
It's 20-foot sphere, right?
Yeah, so anything within 4 blocks of me, basically.
Okay. You hear
Counting linearly.
as the orcs take their turn, you hear some more shuffling to the south. You don't see any orcs go past the arrow slit that you're standing next to. So, Lynn, you're up. Big sphere of darkness to the south.
15, and she's going to put her hand on the wall to her left, or to whatever direction my left is,
Okay.
and go through as much as I can. So
It's going to be some difficult terrain. So, let's see. 5, 10, 15. That's 30 feet. Like here? If you want to go down. Yeah. So you're just on the edge of the darkness. You're about to get out of the darkness, but if you double move down there. And then back to Gregory.
Okay. Everybody's moving to the south.
I like what you guys are doing, man. You guys are a very tough challenge, and you guys put a big darkness spell, so the orcs can't do anything. But you guys are having...
is to breach the stronghold.
But at the same time, you're having a little trouble moving through this darkness yourself.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage.
Yeah, just keep along the
Yeah.
wall.
You know what? You know what? Why not? Is Lynn within the darkness? Actually, you said it would be difficult terrain, right?
Yeah. Because you can't see anything, so you can go through the darkness. It's just difficult terrain for you if you can't.
Where can he get to? I mean, that's what he's trying to figure out.
Where were you? I'll put you over here behind Lynn. How about that?
All right, it's fine.
If you double move.
All right, cool. I'll do that, and I'll use my action to do that. If I'm in the darkness, that means I don't have to worry about getting attacked.
The orcs unable to see Drake. You hear the orcs running off, so you don't think they're around the arrow slits at all at this point.
Okay.
So you hear the orcs running off on their turn. I'm gonna take you out of combat initiative at this point because the orcs have run off because they don't have a means to attack you through this darkness. So they change positions and run off at this point.
As soon as I think they fully run off, I will take my scimitar and hide it underneath my cloak, thus extinguishing the darkness temporarily until I bring it back out.
Okay, and I think we've already gone over time a little bit, so I think we're going to end it there. I didn't want to end it in the middle of initiative.
No problem.
Yep. No problem.
Okay.
I was really hoping that dwarf would stay alive a little bit longer.
That dwarf was out of his mind.